Nerdrotic.com.
You know, Ray, she impresses Han Solo. He's like the guy's guy, impresses him, impresses everybody in the audience. She goes up with Kylo Ren, she punks him right away. Like, he's supposed to be this great guy, wiped out all these people. I don't know. She took that lightsaber and was like, I'm going to take you out. And she did. And I'm all for it. And she looks strong.
Shut the fuck up.
Greg's not a weirdo. He just marches to a different drummer.
Bring the Baron home. Red Baron frozen pizza.
Dave Filoni, for over a decade, has given us good Star Wars. You're saying he gave you a product you enjoyed, but because he said something 4 years ago you don't like, you're walking away?
No, I'm saying he's part of the problem at Disney Star Wars. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
And until this whole problem is resolved, until they understand that to actually retain customers, you've got to treat them with fucking respect, I'll step away.
If you care so much about
Filoni, I've got to get
you haven't even cared about Filoni.
I don't know.
I watched the Mandalorian.
I watched
My
because
point
of the
is,
product.
if you care so much about God! Fucking boomerang!
Don't shiver, newborn baby shivers. My love will keep you warm.
Newborn baby shivers. When she's undressed, she shivers like a real newborn. When you hug her, she stops. Newborn baby shivers.
God! Fucking boomerang!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, fuck! God!
Then he can go fucking just like Catherine could go fucking just like JJ can go fucking else. He's just another one to add to the list. As regards to him as a person, whatever.
I am the person that says I'm a Star Wars fan, and I look for good Star Wars content. And Dave Filoni has given me good Star Wars content. So as long as he gives me good Star Wars content, I don't give a fuck what he says to a bullshit woman's group.
Writer takes to Twitter, as we discussed.
There's nothing new.
A good comic book writer and tells their fucking fans to fuck off, then I've got every right to tell them to fuck off. Just because they can do
In the case of 1-year-old
Dave Filoni. Jeremy.
you are the father.
And in my opinion, the customer service is to provide a good product. And Dave Filoni has consistently provided a good product.
That is not customer service. Making a good product is making a good product. Customer service is relations. A lot of people were saying, like, I'm going to go see this movie no matter what, just because of what that guy said, compared to what we've been through.
Gary, speaking of customer service, there's a lot of people in the chat that would really like us to move on from this topic.
Odin, I'll make that decision. Thank you.
Just letting you know. Just sending the message.
No, Odin, I can see the chat.
Why am I the bad guy? Why am I the bad guy now?
Oh, why am I the bad guy?
Oh my gosh.
Dave Filoni.
Hey, hey.
Dave Filoni.
Oh my gosh.
Jeremy, I love you so much.
Fucking fuck that shit.
Nerdrotic.com.
Oh no! Better together.
We started.
We did. We started. Better together. I got my pineapple pizza shirt on.
Hang on. Is that what's on that shirt? It's too small to see. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because now that
full
shirt
screen
is
Xray
triple
girl.
gay. It's
Yes,
triple
gay.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Elton John said that shirt is gay.
Yes, he did. And that's how I took it from. And I'm okay
Chris
with
Evans said that shirt is gay.
That's like day 50 of girlhood game.
I'll own that shit. I will. Hey, welcome to Friday Night Tights, everyone. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you from Nerdrotic and my mom's vagina, and we have a very special show today featuring a guest that I'm surprised came on this show, to be honest with you. But I'm glad he's here, and we'll eventually get to him after we do our 45 minutes of introductions.
Well, I appreciate that, Gary. I was this close not coming on tonight, but I decided to come in.
Why is there an echo?
While Jeremy's I don't know if Jeremy should introduce himself because the chat's saying that we do have a big echo on everybody that's not Gary.
Yeah.
So that includes me. But I'm sure they're going to get right on that. Jeremy, you don't mind being heard twice, do you?
No, not at all. It's in fact, it just makes my ego even bigger, and I'm always okay with that. But yes, it's Friday Night Tights. We're here. We have a great guest. I'm happy that Shad decided to show up too.
Thank you.
Just because he's a really good guy. I like my gay friends. He's a good guy. So
Yeah.
Shad's.
I mean, I like big pointy things.
And he's gay for AI, so
Is the echo gone? I'm trying to.
The echo is gone. I know it.
All right. So anyway, it's Friday Night Tights. Let's get this party started. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to cover, but there's no need to waste time on intros. Let's hurry up. So Shad, it's all you. Or
You're pointing in the wrong direction.
There you go. Look, I don't even know what.
You would look the wrong direction.
Where you are on the panel, okay?
Look, good to be here. Got my swords. Great to have Gavin here, legend. Gonna have some fun. And there's a second chance campaign of my graphic novel that I just launched on Kickstarter and I'll talk more about that later. But anyway, good to be here, guys.
Great. Az is on assignment, by the way. Az is on assignment. He's on assignment.
He's probably playing
Sons of the Forest. He's probably playing some video game.
He's playing Sons of the Forest.
But I will play his intro song. Little crying game.
for Az.
When you say assignment, I'm picturing that is trying to find out which pair of breasts are real and which are not.
No, or which pair are on men
Assignment.
in particular. Which pair
These
are on
arrived
men.
today. My hot dog man and my wizard arrived.
Why am I not getting mine? What the heck?
I want mine.
Here you go.
We play that song, Gavin, because Az likes boobs on men. So that's why we play little crying game. What's up, Quarter Black?
What's up? What's going on? I'm ready to go.
I know.
I'm glad Gavin's here. He's going to have a great time with us nerds. Us T-shirt wearing nerds.
Yes.
It's good to have you.
Play
man.
video games.
Maybe we get Gavin to play
Stone
Fortnite.
Cold
with us later.
Yeah, that'll.
Hey, Gavin, what's your favorite video game?
I like Joust.
Joust.
Oh
shit.
Okay.
Joust.
Okay.
That's about the last
Yeah, I
one.
haven't played video games since I was a child because video games are for children. And when I was a child, I played Joust. I actually bought it recently. I got a stand-up video game for my bar, and it has Joust. It's got like 3,000 games, but they don't really go past the 90s. And I bought that because I have kids in my house, and I think the kids should play video games.
We're gonna get you to play some Fortnite with us. I think you'd love it.
Yeah, as soon as
you'd love it,
as soon
Gavin.
as I do.
Oh, but Fortnite's a new game, so how would you know about that? That's for little kids.
I play it every day, hours and hours, and make a lot
you
of
a
money doing
chick?
it. If that qualifies me as a chick, I'm a chick.
No, I mean
Fortnite's
you're
awesome.
like your person that you choose. Is it a male or a female?
I'm usually Snake Eyes because that's a GI Joe character, but I also play as big booty Latinas on there. So you know.
That means you're gay.
Why are you a chick in the game? Yeah.
So it proves I'm not sexist.
See, I think this whole trans thing may have started with video games where someone plays as a chick for 6 hours and the next thing you know, they're a chick. Like, what was that video game you were playing, Ryan, where you used to kill dinosaurs in drag?
Horizon Zero Dawn, but you don't have an option.
Okay. Gavin, if you're going to be playing a game where you're going to be staring at a character's ass for 6 hours, would you prefer to stare at a male ass or a chick's ass?
If you're going to play a game where you're looking at yourself, would you rather it was a man's arse or a woman's arse? Why don't you just dress up as a woman and look in the mirror then? You're looking at a chick.
Or you can just dress up as a woman and play the game. I mean, Shad does wear skirts, so.
Gary's the only one that doesn't play games here, so he's probably the only one that's not super gay from that perspective.
Except for my shirt.
I don't think it's gay. I think it's infantile. I think that if you're playing with your kids, it's a good way to bond with your kids, but this perpetual adolescence of giving a shit about superheroes and video games, I mean, it's embarrassing.
You picked the perfect podcast.
Oh no.
Let's see.
Well,
no shame to my game, baby.
Is you guys get into the economics of it, and it's obviously a multi-trillion-dollar industry, so the economics of it are fascinating. But then you sort of go, why not just work there? Like, you should work at Disney or Marvel or something. You know more than most of the people there.
Well, we haven't cut our dicks off, so we're
Yeah,
not allowed to.
yeah, that's-
But I do think when it does come to what's driving a lot of culture, it's undeniable that the reason they've taken over these industries is because they know they can have an effect on culture. So regardless if some people aren't interested in something, there are a lot of people who are, and that's what we're seeing play out in culture right now because of a lot of the shit that's shoved into nearly every aspect of the entertainment industry.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. I noticed that all the cartoon characters, whatever, comic book characters are black now.
Yes.
Like Thor and everyone is going black.
I'm not a big fan of that. No.
Isn't it possible that these companies are going, well, we already got whites. Blacks seem to love our shit. Like if you go to a comic store in Manhattan, it's all black people walking around. It's like their library. So maybe they're going, let's just up our numbers and make it black and we'll sell more.
No, I think what it is when people that dismiss the culture like you have been push that kind of mindset away, and then social justice freaks actually take over those industries, and then they pander to children, and now they're indoctrinating children because you're dismissing the importance of how it has on the overall culture, and that's why we're losing the culture. So I think that's why we're getting so many black characters, because freaks that don't care about this stuff have overtaken it, and people that should be interested in it are dismissing it because they don't realize its importance. And it's why we have a psychopathic geriatric man that doesn't know where he's at in the White House right now, and that's a big problem.
It is, and it's not just it's. There you go.
Yeah.
It's not, and it's what Eric July calls hand-me-downs. It's just the race and gender swapping. It's not like they're not putting time or money into making new black characters. So that's the other part. It's just absolute pandering, and it's in its laziest form because they're the ones who actually believe these are marginalized people, and they want to keep them marginalized. They'd love to keep them in their margins. And
there's got to be a business argument for it somewhere. Like, why would a company?
It's called Our Channels. It's called Our Channels. You should watch them.
Why would a company knowingly and brazenly lose billions on purpose? I don't get it.
Because people like you dismiss it to the people that should matter. And in reality, they're pandering to a bunch of mentally ill freaks.
And they find that
through my fault. How is it my fault? I talk on my show all the time about wokeism infecting comic books and video games and Marvel movies and stuff because I don't like it. But that being said, I don't think adult men should be watching Spidey catch a bad guy.
Yeah, and that mentality is why we're losing the culture.
Culture?
I disagree.
Gavin, I need to know your line. So when does it turn from like enjoying story to being infantile? Like, is it okay to read a book about, I don't know, people doing heroic things? And then is it okay to do Lord of the Rings? And then when does it become too nerdy?
I read Lord of the Rings when I was 12. It's a great book for a 12-year-old. I stopped collecting cool knives like you just showed when I was 13, because then I got horny. And then you go to an arcade and you start meeting girls. And then 14, 15, 16, then you start getting into cars and stuff and going to shows when you're 15, 16, 17. 33? Little late.
Because I just find it interesting. I look at like people who are into sports and cars almost at the same level.
It's the same thing. You still listen to music, right?
Like
you still listen to music from your youth. It's the same thing. It's the exact. See, I can get laid. I can get laid and collect knives and get married and have kids and like comics.
Stuck on a field for like a couple of hours on end.
But I get what you're saying. There's an argument there, but that's real. They exist, and they're doing something that 0.00001% of the population can do. Like if we spent 2 weeks throwing a fastball, we might get up to 50 miles an hour. They throw it at 110. Like you're watching a freak in real life.
Yeah, so it's the exceptional sports value that you're getting out of it. But on the inverse, one of the things that encouraged me to get out and work out as a kid and try and attract a lady was my appreciation of Superman. It was a heroic kind of idyllic version of masculinity originally that encouraged me to try and be a better person and to be a better man. It was a very positive thing. And I think that those influences are very good for kids, but also I think you can enjoy going to and still get those positive influences and things. And then you start to try and make your own and your own stories and stuff.
Let's see your guns. You've been working out?
All right, Gavin. If you want to test the strength, I shoot 100-pound longbow. Okay, I'll challenge you to try and do that, like heavy war bow. All right, and
where you shoot that at the Renaissance Fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's in fucking Australia. They can't have guns. What else is he supposed to do?
Not allowed to have guns.
That's my home defense.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying about sports, but the thing about sports too is I think we all have a genetic love for war. It's in our we're meant to be battling right now, but we haven't been doing it for like the past 1% of our existence or whatever it is. So when you go to see the Mets play a game, you're in the Coliseum, you're watching the Lions eat the Christians, whatever, but that's also a simulation of war. Even back then, you're watching a battle happen.
Yes.
No one dies, and it sort of triggers our war gene without any bloodshed.
I think
Gavin,
the other half
you could be I'll just say, Gavin, you could be a real man and get into real warfare and weapons like actual swords and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other half is we are also connected. Like you just said, we're connected to war. We're also connected to stories.
Yes.
The other half of what our culture was built on was telling each other stories. So a lot of these things are like you're telling each other stories. You're reading stories about Superman or whatever, and you're telling them to your kids. So like that's something that's I think is inherent to everybody. I don't think
it's something people have been doing for forever.
different.
For as long as people were hitting themselves or hitting each other with clubs, they were also telling stories around the fire to inspire
Yeah,
people.
video games aren't stories.
Like
This is
that.
like when people say wrestling is stories. What's the story? A guy wanted to fight Undertaker and he hit him on the head. Okay.
Yeah, wrestling.
What a great story. What a plot twist.
Come on.
100% story. 100%. I've actually promoted wrestling matches. I've actually ran them. So yes, it's 100% story because there's an art to making the audience hate you as the bad guy. You have to actually work the audience. You have to actually work the audience, just like you're working the audience. So you're doing exactly the heel.
You are the heel
right now. Yeah, and there's an art form to that. And then you have to tell the opposite side of the story, which is the face, and then you get the crowd to cheer them, and you're telling a story within the ring. So yes, it is 100% story.
That's the kind of story that you would tell monkeys. Like this is not exactly a nuanced story.
Do you think the vast majority?
I'm bad guy. I'm bad guy. Hey, I'm good guy. I'm good guy. I hit punch bad guy. Yeah, get the bad guy.
Do you think the vast majority of the American public are just like these supreme intelligent beings out there that are making 100% informed decisions? And
I don't even dislike wrestling. I don't get it. The fact that there's those crowds screaming. Like my trainer puts on wrestling because he thinks it gets me pumped. And I'm like, no, dude, you might as well be putting on like the Discovery Channel.
Well,
it
depends
is
on what
so
wrestling
fucking
you put
bizarre to
on,
me.
because current wrestling is horrible and it's been horrible for about 10 or 15 years. But if you go
As
back
opposed to what, Jake the Snake pulling a snake out of his bag?
As opposed to Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, that literally had a massive impact on not even the wrestling fan base, but they transcended wrestling fans and transcended into pop culture overall. And it kind of inspired a whole new attitude within younger people that showed that you can stand up against authority, and you don't have to just say yes or no, sir, all day long. So yeah.
When was the last time you read a book?
What type of book?
A non-fiction book with no pictures.
I read a comic book called Isom, that our friend Eric July just released.
That doesn't count.
Exactly. So what type of book?
Well, they're called, most people when you say book, they think of that thing with all the words in it that has no pictures.
A chapter book.
Yeah. So the last book I believe I read was Jurassic Park: The Lost World. Is that a book?
I guess.
Well, I'm asking you, does that qualify as a book?
No. No.
It's a fiction book.
Yeah. So
I was reading a book called Star Wars. What's his name? Kyle Dunnigan makes a joke about Wendell, the guy who loves to get lost in books, and he just read Star Wars, and he loves that little tiny dog Chewbacca and the giant 60-foot robot that is C-3PO, because it only exists in his imagination because there's no pictures in his Star Wars book.
So
what about a nonfiction book?
No, I've never been a big fan of sitting around reading.
So-
I like activity. So I play sports. I'm usually out and about. I like racing. I like playing video games.
When was the last time you read a nonfiction book?
Only a couple of weeks ago. Do
About a
research
month ago.
papers on metallurgical analysis of period swords count? Because I read those all the time.
Yes.
There we go.
America Before by Graham
What's
Hancock.
the definition of book? We need to know what the
Yeah.
definition of book is.
Exactly.
A non-fiction book.
He said a non-fiction book. That is what
Yeah.
Hey, research papers count.
Research papers could count too, because those are pretty in-depth.
I mean, I read my scriptures all the time. They would count as well, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I used to read a lot of political books from a lot of political talking heads until I realized they're all kind of part of the same system. But yeah, it's probably been about 4 years since I read an actual nonfiction book cover to cover.
Do you count audiobooks? Because a lot of people do listen to audiobooks but don't read.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm reading a book right now called Empire of the Summer Moon about the Comanches and Crazy Horse and stuff. And I realized if I get it on Audible, then I pick up where I left off the night before, and then I'm starting to like the Audible more than the reading. And I know it's frowned upon, but why?
Yeah, it shouldn't be
it's
frowned
easier to
upon.
get
Audible-
through it. You
Smell the
absorb more if you actually read it yourself, but you can get through it much quicker if you listen to somebody read it to you, especially if you're driving in the car or whatever. I'll ask you
Yeah, I
this,
guess your mind wanders more when you listen to an audiobook.
Yeah, 1984. Would you consider that something worth reading, even though it's not a nonfiction book?
What book?
1984.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I bash fiction a lot. I always said fiction is for, but I spent the last 3 nights watching all the Death Wish movies, and those aren't just fiction; they're retarded fiction.
Well, maybe she's gay. You ever thought of that?
I do have our great Governor DeSantis's book back in Pensacola.
Hang on, Garrett. Let me try.
Checking that one out. So would that count?
Yeah, that would count.
Okay. You have to be coming to Pensacola when I get it. So
there's a very important caveat to be made about this fiction, non-fiction, discussion, is that a lot of fiction books are usually way more enjoyable to read. They're a lot of fun. I highly recommend.
Well, that means that the nonfiction writer was a bad writer.
I don't know. I don't see many non-fiction books about.
Wait, Kevin, are you saying story is important?
This is too many voices at once here. What?
Did you say story is important? You said there was a bad writer. Does it mean story is important?
Of course, story is important.
Okay. We're getting somewhere. We're making progress now. So story is important. Okay.
Look, I remember being a kid, and we had played Star Wars and stuff, and then we started getting horny, and we started going to the arcade, and we were about 13, and you'd see there was this one dude, he was like 6 feet tall when we were 13, and I'd see him still playing Star Wars, but he was with younger kids because we wanted to go to the arcade. And I just remember looking at him and feeling this sadness that his body and his hormones weren't going in the proper direction. And he sort of felt, I feel like I might be making this up in my head, but I seem to remember him having like a Chewbacca and Han Solo action figure and me looking at him and him looking up like, oh, you see what I see too. And then I was like, sorry, I'm going to go try to figure out what a pussy is.
Aren't you embarrassed?
Why?
All those guys are watching tonight, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you could do both.
What we realized, I would say, man, I want to say maybe in the 2010s is where all the guys, because I was kind of on both sides of that. I was into sports growing up. I played a lot of sports, but I also played video games. I read comic books. I was into the nerd stuff too. So I was on both sides of those aisles, but those were very split when I was growing up. The jocks were kind of always looked down on the comic book nerds. And around 2010 is where it felt like all those jocks in school started going to all the comic book movies. And those worlds started to intertwine, and it became a really mixed bag. And where the people that were into sports, the people into wrestling, the people who were into comic books and video games, they all started intertwining. And you saw that, wow, how did that happen? And it just clashed so quickly. So that was an interesting dynamic. As
and you kind of see that same sort of bleed with like. I hate the word incel, but sort of incel Pepe the Frog, MAGA based dudes and sort of men's rights and stuff. That's sort of overlapping on that. And we see that with what's his name who played Superman, where he was getting into gamer culture and what's his name?
Henry Cavill.
Yeah. And then he starts going to the set. And the first story you hear is that he's an asshole and he's a dick to the female director. And then you go, then you dig a little deeper and you're like, no, the female director is just a stupid bitch. And she's woke. And he's just trying to say, can we stop ruining this Superman dude with your woke bullshit? Like they ruined Thor with that chick. And then, I mean, that's the good thing about this gamer community is that they seem to be getting kind of based.
Well, yeah, I think they're very based in a lot of ways, but they like for me, I mean, I'm an outspoken Trump supporter, and I've been that way for when Trump ran, but I didn't start saying anything. I remember you talked about this years ago where you said MAGA was the new gay, and you talked about, like you'd be at a club at a party or you'd be at a house party and you'd look across the room and there's another guy and you're like, oh, he looks like, and then you go outside and you start talking about Trump all of a sudden, but you go back in and everybody has to be quiet. And I experienced that because in the gaming community, the bigger gaming community, just a few years ago, you could not be in the industry and say you're a Trump supporter. You just couldn't do it. Whereas now we're at a point where you still can't do it really, but there's there's more people that are out there kind of standing against that now. So that culture is kind of shifting, where that woke mind virus is being defeated slowly but surely. From
Well, surely Gamergate was the beginning of that, right? They said, "Hey, let girls make video games," and she made some dumb shit that I could make in Microsoft Word. It was like a choose your own adventure, kill yourself thing. And they all defended her, just like they defended that dumb lesbian with the neck tattoos. What's her name? Frostnick?
Frost. Yeah. Frost Gearin.
Oh my God. Chrissie's eyes light up. We've had Frost on the show a couple of times.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Really?
Oh yeah,
definitely. She's so fucking. Lesbians are so phony. They're like wiggers. Their whole like, yo, peace. And
Like
the neck tattoos and the stupid blue denim jacket.
What? The Subarus and the
But Gavin, you're right about the Gamergate thing. It was in Gamergate where I actually saw some really solid, larger kind of scale pushback against the feminist narrative, where instead of just bending over and taking all this shaming that men are all misogynistic, suddenly when they tried to do it against the gamers are like, no, piss off. We just like looking at big tits. Like, what's wrong with that? And then
but I think most gamers chose the woke side at the beginning because they were fat, ugly nerds, and they got beat up by jocks in high school. So they're like, I want to choose whatever isn't jocks. And they went, okay, it's retarded woke bitches. So they chose that, and then they started seeing this drop in quality in video games and that culture, and then it leaked into movies, and now you have these abysmal failures like the Thor chick, like Wakanda Forever. And I just sort of feel like I'm sitting back here going, way to choose the losers, boys. Way to choose the losers.
Well, that was more the creatives. I think a lot of gamers and people who read comics just want to be fucking left alone. I think that's pretty much it. And then when he started taking away the boobs, they're like, wait a minute. All right, that you've gone too far.
Right.
That's a bridge too far. And
I went to some feminist conference that Gina Davis, I think, the girl from Women Are From Mars chick, she's become a billionaire divorcing rich men. And she, David Cross got sent this invitation to go to this feminist seminar, and he was like, I don't want this to you. And I was like, yeah. So I went to it, and it was all women talking about feminism and their goal was to get women into action movies. And they had all these stats, like men represent 89% of action heroes, and women are only in fight scenes like 1% of the time, and we have to switch this. And I was watching it, realizing the reason that men dominate not just action stories, but stories in general is genetic. Men are the guys who go do the things. Right. And George Washington made America because he's a dude. He got shot at. He healed easily. He came up with battle plans. That requires testosterone and concentration. You don't need to have a female George Washington. You don't need to have a black and Hispanic Hamilton. That's a separate topic, actually. But this whole idea of like men are leading these stories too much. No, they lead the stories because they did the stories. And you go, well, that trivializes women. No, dude. Women made the guy. That George Washington was made out of cunt clay. A woman made him. All of these amazing characters you hear about, they came out of a woman's hole. So it's not like you're not included in the story. You're the god of the story. You're the creator. So why do I got to ram you into every adventure thing? Like this new movie Ghosted that Apple Movies put out. It's this midget Cuban actress. She's like 5'2", kicking the living shit out of everything that moves. Dude, I swear to God, I could hold this beer as that actress beat me up, and I would not spill a drop. I wouldn't punch her.
She's like
I have a question.
I might punch her with my dick. Anna de Armas is pretty hot.
Really heal faster than women? Is that
we keep more blood in us, so it helps us.
Men don't heal faster than women per se, but men get shot and they're like, "Fuck, I was shot. I gotta go do another thing."
Yeah,
you shoot a woman and she's in a bad mood for weeks.
There's actually
almost as much as if you say something wrong.
There are different reactions to pain between men and women. They've documented that men generally have a higher kind of adrenaline kick in due to pain, and look, just greater muscle density and bone density as well. And stuff,
but we can handle pain down there.
Yeah,
that's true.
As to pain tolerance,
yeah,
as to pain tolerance, women generally have pretty good pain tolerance. But the fact that men can actually get an adrenaline triggering from pain is more beneficial on a battlefield situation.
Chrissie, do you want to fight for the British for a few years, watch a bunch of lords die, then eventually realize that you should leave the British Army and start fighting the American Revolution with the Indians and maybe even the French, and eventually kill the most powerful superpower on earth and create your own country, and then stick around for like another 8 years, making sure everyone is doing the Constitution right before you go back to your farmhouse to die?
With your wooden teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah? You do want to do
No.
that? Okay. She's like, yeah.
I do that.
Big woman. It's a
Sounds
man.
awesome.
Oh,
Yes.
me personally, no,
I mean-
but I would support it.
You know, as elegantly as Gavin was putting it before, there's a point like women want men to protect them. Okay, they're the ones who have often pushed men into that role because they know men do a really good job at it, and also women have always loved to be, you know, seen as things to be desired and to be pursued by men and stuff like that. That's trying to get flipped on its head in the modern day, but traditionally, women wanted men in these roles as much as men were willing to do it, because oftentimes these roles friggin' sucked because you got blown to hell. And so,
well,
do women even like these female heroes? Do women watch Charlize Theron roundhouse kick Russian mobsters and go, fucking right, nail them?
Based on the
nowhere
box office
near as
results, no.
Like there's a small group that do, but you're right. Women, for the most part, they love Pride and Prejudice and Twilight.
And Jason
Okay? I mean,
Momoa
they-
with his shirt off, you know, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I think that it's these nerds who have never even seen the one left tit. And so the two biggest things they're fascinated by is tough dudes who can beat them up and throw them across the road. They're just like, what are those weird animals?
Gavin, I gotta pull you up on this. What are you talking about? Nerds go out of their way to see more tits than any other people on the planet. What are you
I'm
talking
not
about?
done. The other thing that freaks them out is women. They don't see them as like the way you would see your sister of like, hey, Marnie, your mom says you have to empty the dishwasher. They see them as like these massive Medusa beasts, and you'll turn to stone if you look at them.
That's not
So
true,
these
though.
female action movies,
you're thinking of nerds. Yeah.
They take your two biggest fears and you combine them, and now you're watching like a jaguar with tits, and you're like, oh, cool.
No,
You've been totally deluded by Big Bang Theory and the old Revenge of the Nerd.
Yeah, this
movies
isn't
and
the
crap,
like
right?
this isn't the nerd stereotype from the early 80s and the late 70s.
Gavin is showing
Yeah.
Gavin is showing how important culture is. Just warped his mind into what he
Well,
thinks
tell me
nerds
who
are.
Who is Ghosted for? Who is that movie for?
It's Hollywood. It's
For nobody.
going to fail, and it's going to flop at the box office because nobody wants to watch the guy who pretended to be Captain America when he's really a fucking in the closet gay dude in Chris Evans. Nobody wants to watch him get saved over and over again by Ana de Armas. What they would love to see is Henry Cavill in a movie kicking ass, being a fucking alpha male while saving Ana de Armas, who's fucking hot. That's what people actually want. Hollywood is continuing to push things, and they're continuing to fail over and over again because people have caught on that it's programming.
Yeah.
But it would have failed
it's why-
earlier if people hadn't of abandoned the culture and not respected the fact of how powerful it is through gaming, comic books, film. You look in our chat. There's truck drivers. There's like blue collar workers. There's also like 9.9% women in there. Want to shout out to the ladies.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we've met
Up
them.
to
Like
9%
yeah,
now. What the fuck?
up
You
to
bring Dan
9%. I
Bass
think it
on
was
or
Lord of the
something?
Rings, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's,
I'm
that's
at like
the thing.
5.
Our audience is made up of everybody. It's made up of blue collar workers of America. It's made up of, it's not just a couple of people that like to see random dudes in tights. And
Wait a minute.
I think what,
you
I think
guys are
what's so
conflating.
often-
You guys are conflating me thinking that loving Spider-Man is for kids with me not giving a shit about the wokeification of this culture. If all children's books, actually this is true, all children's books are a black female astronaut. I don't like that. It's stupid. It's relentless, and so
Unrealistic.
I don't like what's happening to children's books. That doesn't mean I want adults reading children's books. So I care about children's books just like I care about Spider-Man, but they're both for kids.
Yeah, and I think that dismissiveness is what's led to a lot of conservatives failing in the culture war, to be honest with you, because I think that whether you think they should be or not, the
No, I
reality is when
know.
you look at how big these entertainment spheres are, people are. And so when
Yeah,
the
that's
discussion
sad.
when the discussion turns
I
to, well,
disagree.
you shouldn't be watching these things because they're for kids anyway. Just fuck off. Just don't worry about it. That tends to lead in a lot of cases to people not being very passionate about making sure that those industries aren't taken over by these
I
lunatics.
disagree.
Whether you like it
I
or not,
totally disagree.
whether you like it or not,
No,
you
Gavin,
have power
dude,
and they
Drag
do have
Queen
influence.
Story Hour is for kids. I don't like it, and I'm passionate about that.
But Gavin, the reason why you want adults into these properties, because the adults that are into nerd culture, then they start to make nerd culture for the next generation. And if the conservatives abandon that, then the woke crowd overtake it, and then you get friggin' all this corrupted bullcrap in nerd culture. You want adults
And it
into this
permeates
stuff so they
through
can make it
all of
like
culture.
literally the reason why I'm making graphic novels and writing and stuff like that is that I can have great stories for the next generation, because Superman had such an incredibly positive influence on me to be a better person, to be a man and stuff like that the next generation now isn't getting, because they want to make Superman gay. They want to corrupt everything that can teach young men to be better men, to grow up and actually fill those protective roles, to look after their wives, look after their daughters and everything like that. And the influences they have when they're young are so crucially important, which is why you actually need gatekeepers who care about this stuff. You need adults into this stuff.
Hey,
because if we abandon it,
you're cool.
It is a sphere of influence, just like if you
I
opt
agree.
out and let the woke take over our institutions, our corporations. If you opt out, well, the woke people are not going to opt out. They're going to forge ahead and be the ones influencing everyone.
I agree. I agree with Gavin. I think if you're an adult, you shouldn't be focusing your entire being on following cartoons and comic books and stuff like that. That's an aspect of your being. You can also be a very successful father, businessman. You could be a sports.
I like how Nerdrotic is nodding, and behind him are 750,000.
That's just one wall, baby. Hey, there's no shame in my game, Gavin. None at all.
No,
I don't
also,
give a shit. I'm a
outside of
nerd.
that,
I'm proud
he's
of it.
a
I also
successful husband.
I also have a wife and kids and
Don't let
own
Gavin trigger
businesses.
you guys.
It's
No,
not
that's not
triggering.
triggering, though.
You want me to
what
show
I'm
you the rest
saying-
of this room? There's 700 here, 700 over there, 700 here. There's
Well, no,
fucking
700 in the
shitload.
attic.
They're on the
Well,
fucking
there's an
ceiling in
element
here,
where
baby.
You can also be a successful, hardworking person outside of your hobbies.
Yeah.
And I don't think
you
that's
know
a-
that Superman was made for like kids with polio, right? To feel better about themselves.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care about Gavin's individual opinion, but his individual
he can
opinion represents what I think is a bigger problem within more people in the conservative or non-leftist side, let's just say. And that's what I have seen as someone that runs a company called Geeks and Gamers. And yes, my life is built around geek and gaming culture. So seeing that, I'm a Trump supporter. I don't really say I'm a Republican or a conservative because I don't like being labeled to any side of the political spectrum, although I think the leftists and the Democrats are psychopaths. But I've seen that be a problem, and I've seen that's why we've lost so much of the culture, because of the dismissiveness from the people that are not on the left side.
I disagree with that. It's the children's books analogy. It's the drag queen story hour analogy. I can trivialize adults believing in Spider-Man while also saying I am very concerned about the way Spider-Man is being portrayed. Like the war on Christmas. Santa is for kids. Your adults should not believe in Santa. But I'm very passionate about this war on Christmas that's going on, where you're not even allowed to say it anymore. You have to say Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
So hang on.
Separate these.
Well,
who believes in Spider-Man?
Yeah, you said people believe in Spider-Man like kids believe in Santa Claus. That's not the same thing at all.
Wait a minute. Santa Claus isn't real?
Yeah,
Spider-Man isn't real. Hold
fuck
on.
all you
Sorry
guys.
for parents who watch this show with their
Dude,
kids.
Spider-Man is for an 8-year-old who gets bullied, and then he goes home and he's like, he imagines that he has a secret power and he lets you shove him around. But if you really push him too far, he would fucking cover you in webs.
Yeah,
And
but
I
you
would
said
say
both-
that
you said
Spider-Man
believe in Spider-Man just like
for some people
like
is
kids
just
believe
a
in Santa
story
Claus,
that
same
like
difference.
you can outgrow like seeing like that's part of the problem where like everybody needs to, we have a lot of adults saying we need to see themselves in this character. And it's like, no, you don't. You know, I'll agree with you. After 8 years old, you're not going to be I'm Spider-Man. Swinging my webs.
That, I will.
You know,
that,
you just like the story. You just like the story. That's all. That's fine.
But also, it goes both ways, right? Because I look at people who perhaps make sports way too much, where it consumes their lives, and it's only sports, and then they don't get a relationship, and they don't make a productive life out of themselves. If you take anything to the extreme, it's unproductive. Okay,
Sure.
And so
I don't think I would never wear a jersey with someone's name on my back. That's like a weird cuck move.
Yeah.
I will. I'll wear football jerseys.
I wore football jerseys, but I got the custom ones, so that didn't have somebody's name on the back. I felt the same way. That was weird. Yeah.
You're pretending like you're part of the team. Is that any less?
No, I just put no name on the back. I didn't put my own name.
I tried to get a Mets jersey where the name was Rape, and they said they don't do that.
They won't let you do that?
They won't let
me. Cutie pie, okay?
I want to be Rape 69, because wouldn't that be a funny way to rape someone?
That would be interesting.
I don't know.
It's such a hard position to get right when everyone's volunteering. So to do a Rape 69, you'd have to be a superhero.
It's like a bitch, got you for real.
Hey,
like
I've used that clip.
Spider-Man could pull it off.
It's a
hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Hey, we're still doing intros.
Yeah, we're still in the intro.
I just think the best part is Gary wanted to read an article on the MCU during this episode. Which
I
would be
will.
fantastic.
I fucking will. Okay, it's not want to.
Good
I
luck.
will. Who do we got to introduce still?
Ryan.
Ryan from RK Outpost.
What's up, Gary? I'm just working on, speaking of fucking men on a football field doing battle, I'm uploading a Sports Wars video to our sports channel
About
right now.
Colin?
But yeah.
Colin Kaepernick and his graphic novel? Would that
We
be
talked about Colin Kaepernick's dumbass earlier today. The white people that adopted a little black baby when he was 5 weeks old. They're actually really just fucking racists. So according to Colin Kaepernick,
people,
everything's going
What an
good.
asshole.
And we're ready to rock and roll. We're already off to a good start.
Yeah, moral of the story, don't adopt black kids.
They'll turn on you.
They're ingrates.
That's what Colin's story is.
Has anybody done the Scott Adams was right hashtag yet on the Colin Kaepernick story? Because holy shit, man. What a
have you noticed that everyone mad about the Scott Adams stuff lives in an all-white community they worked hard to get into? They pay taxes up the wazoo to make sure there's no black people at their school. And they're like, what the hell is he talking about? Bitch, you invented white flight.
You mean like the Black Lives Matter founders who moved into the white neighborhood?
Yeah.
With their
Or like,
millions?
or like
Steph Curry. Steph Curry going to the White House talking about, we really need to give low-income black people better opportunities. And they set up a low-income housing facility right in his backyard. And he's like, well, hold on. Let me write the city. This isn't okay.
That's like Marin.
If there's one group that can't wait to get away from blacks when they get money, it's blacks. I mean, Chris Rock, they always go to the suburbs of Jersey. They go as far away from the hood as is imaginable. They don't even go to like Brooklyn where there's nice parts of Brooklyn. They get the hell out of Dodge. And not all, like American Indians are totally different. They'll go to Harvard, get a degree, and then go back to the res because they like it there.
Yeah,
it's a try.
Shout out to Don Lemon from 10 years ago. That is from 10 years ago. Don Lemon.
I'll never forget Marin County. I lived in San Francisco for 18 years. So Marin County had a chance to have Bart go from Richmond to Marin County, and they shot that shit down so fast. It was the unanimous most liberal county in freaking California. Oh no, but no, we can't have.
Yeah, ask everyone there about Scott Adams like today, and the same people would go, oh my God, what an asshole. Meanwhile, they did the exact same thing. In fact, there was a documentary about this. I think the New York Times did it, where they talked about busing. Busing came out, I think it was in the 80s, where they said, let's take the black kids from this area, put them in white schools, and the white kids from this area, put them in black schools, and we'll all be enriched. And the people that were pushing it the hardest didn't actually do it with their kids. They just liked the concept. And they
get the hell out of here, brown people.
And
I'm gonna make that my ringtone.
It feels like
brown people are leaving. We're so excited. Go, brown people, go. Don't come home.
It feels like Joe Biden had to have been involved in that. somehow.
It does. It does.
Well, he was pretty base back in the day. Remember, he said he didn't want his kids living in a racial jungle.
Well, he thought one of them might get addicted to crack. Whoa.
Like Joe Biden's ago.
Oh, I don't let people watch me fuck. What's that joke about?
That's the beard of shame. Beard of shames.
I like that dude.
Here he has a beard.
Adjacent.
Hey, tell him don't be a
You
bitch
like
and
Jack
unblock
Murphy?
me on Twitter if he's such a man. So fuck that guy. He blocked me because I made fun of him for, getting outed as a bitch-made beta male, and he proved himself by blocking me.
Was he a beta male? He just liked making porn.
By blocking me. That's when I cared, is when you blocked me on Twitter because you couldn't take a joke. That's pathetic behavior.
I don't know what.
He was talking
Getting
about how
off on
excited he
watching
got while-
dudes screw your wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say he talked about how excited he was when he knew his wife was out fucking somebody else.
Yeah, he would pee on his wife when she came home from banging someone else.
Is that to sterilize her?
He would pee on her to like reclaim her.
To reclaim his property. I don't know. I think cum beats piss personally, but hey.
I don't get how you would piss on a chick, because I would just get a boner when it started, and then there would be no pee.
You end up with one of those fork guns.
Come piss shit, sis.
Yeah, like how are you like no woman has seen my penis soft ever.
Yeah,
if I knew it around a lady,
I'm guessing his wife just didn't arouse him that much,
Yeah,
he probably liked other things
because she knows I'm gonna try to jump her bones. So the second she wakes up, she kind of runs out of the bedroom.
Look at that one.
The shaman's more sense.
But why did y'all see Steven voiceover's clip of the insurrection with the voiceover?
Yes,
the one that
it's
Elon
so
shared?
good. It's so good.
So Chuck Schumer tweets out about how such a terrible thing, a threat to our democracy. Tucker's horrible. Trump's a liar. Yada yada yada. And then Elon shares Steven voiceover's memed footage of the insurrection. And he's like, "Would you like us to delete this?" Such a good troll. It's such a good troll. So if you guys haven't seen that, we should watch that.
That's hilarious.
We can bring it
I
up.
watched it when you played it on Cobra Cast.
Yes.
Wait. What was it? What did you just call it? Cobra Cost?
Cobra Cost?
Cobra Cost.
Cobra
I don't know
Cost.
how hold on. The Cobra Hey, the Cobra Cost never happened, all right?
I'm Australian and I've got better English than you barbarians. What's going on?
Oh, right.
You're telling me
You
there's
just
been
say retarded
6 million
better.
episodes? Come on, I
Australia
question
friggin'
that, all right?
butchers every language we try, and I'm saying it better than you guys? What the hell?
Are we gonna see the clip? That you can't talk about a clip and not show it.
Let me see if I can find it.
We're just building hype.
I've got two
Steven
producers.
voiceover.
Like I can look for it, I guess. But
You know what kind of pisses me off about everything? Like the Naomi Wolf today put a letter saying, "I apologize to the right. I was wrong.
I saw
January
that.
6th was a nothing burger. I wish I hadn't put so much onus upon it," and blah blah blah. And I'm kind of like, the Tucker footage. Like we'd all seen footage like that. We'd all seen the cops opening doors. Remember the guy who was like, "Hey,"
leading him through.
We saw the shaman walk into the room and go, "Hey, man, my favorite guys, what's going on?" And the cops going, "Could you get out of here?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're just making sure people don't disrespect the place." That video was from like years ago. We've all seen this. So the fact that the mainstream is finally coming around and going, "Oh, I guess you were just trespassing and you should have got a fine and maybe a misdemeanor." We're like, well, thanks for finally catching on. But all our friends have been in jail for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yep.
The same thing with every other fucking big ass issue.
It's
Like
way too late.
Kavanaugh, same
in the
thing.
private
We
chat.
figured that shit
Quarter
out
black.
a long time before.
Yeah. Welcome aboard.
January 6th.
Link is
COVID,
in,
all
link
that
is in the
shit.
private chat.
Yeah.
I
After
see.
they had Chansley in solitary, basically it was like, almost a lifetime or, plead guilty and get 4 years.
Right.
Well,
And
they could use it for their agenda, so they purposely try and spin it there.
Oh, it's such a
the
fair
way that,
system. They threaten you with multiple years and then give you what you should be getting. Like when I got busted for my second burglary, they were throwing 8-10 years at me, but I was supposed to get 4 to 6, and that's what they gave me. So they make it sound like a deal. It's all fucking bullshit. Let's go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the U.S. Capitol building. If you've joined us today for the insurrection, please make sure you pick up a promotional leaflet on the way in, stay inside the safety cordons at all times, and if you get lost, speak to one of our Capitol police officers. They'll be sure to point you in the right direction.
Is that girl from Ipanema?
It was so chill.
And be sure to set aside a little time today to join us for some insurrection activities, including our
Inside the
photography
line.
tour, our fancy dress competition, and have a go on our climbing wall. But don't forget those safety ropes.
A Wilhelm scream. That's great.
Yeah.
And I've now received the results of our fancy dress competition. The winner today is Jacob Chansley. That's Mr. Jacob Chansley. If you could report to your nearest Capitol Police officer, they'll be sure to give you your prize. A guided tour of the building.
What's that thing on the ground right there? I can't figure it out.
I don't know, but this was so much worse than the Summer of Love.
Cop's literally walking with it.
And all that is for me to thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the insurrection. Wherever possible, please try to clean up after yourselves. Don't forget to visit the souvenir shop on the way out. And feel free to join us on the outdoor terrace for Nancy Pelosi's Insurrection Soiree. Grab yourself a light refreshment and enjoy the music of our very own fancy dress competition winner.
So that's what Elon shared this video under Chuck Schumer crying about everything, and he's like, do you want us to delete this video? I'm like, holy shit, man.
That's great. You know, that guy's screwed though, because he took a plea.
Yep.
So even though we've all just proved that he's not guilty, he can't sue, he can't get out. He admitted to doing it. So
well, see,
he's
I'd
gotta
made that
do
point.
41 months.
I had made that point. And I guess you just answered it because I said, doesn't he have like a Nick Sandman style of lawsuit? But since he pleaded,
No, he pleaded,
can't now.
and he's in
And he
federal.
was in
He's in the
prison. What
federal
do you-
pen, so he's doing most of his time.
He's
It's not
confessed,
like a halftime,
basically.
Yeah.
But wait a minute.
What was he supposed to do?
Wait a minute. You robbed you just threw that away like it was nothing. You robbed someone and you've done it more than once?
What?
Yeah.
Someone was talking about their second burglary.
Yeah.
Pierry has probably.
Yeah,
No,
back
Gary,
back.
Gary.
Yeah.
Hey.
Not Jeremy. No, Jeremy's just a grifter. I burglarized houses when I was a kid. Yeah, I was a young, drug addicted, homeless punk rock kid who did a lot of bad things.
Yeah, I believe what
most
You were a drug addict?
I was.
Jerry,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm sober
What is
now.
a drug? Heroin?
No, it was meth, speed.
Oh, the good drugs.
Well, and lots of psychedelics, lots and lots of psychedelics, but I mainly did like meth, and speed, stuff like that. Yeah.
And what were you hoping to get when you would cat burglar? It doesn't seem like a very lucrative.
Oh, whatever I could get to pay for drugs.
Action
Like
figures?
what though? No one has pearl necklaces anymore.
Oh, this was in the
80s, right?
This is in the 80s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there was cash in houses and all kinds of stuff, or you get a TV or whatever. TVs were fucking heavy, but you could do it.
That's where he got half of his action figures.
No.
That was San Francisco?
No, I grew up in San Diego in Southern California. So it was there. It wasn't a great time in my life. I was on my own from the age of 15, living under a bush in front of a Long John Silver's restaurant, hanging out with a bunch of punk rockers, getting in fights, hanging out with meth cookers. It was kind of shitty.
What year was that?
It was from 86 to 85, 86 to 90.
So what were
91.
your bands that you were into, like Jodie Foster's Army and stuff?
JFA, absolutely. Adolescence, Subhumans, Misfits. Later Danzig became my favorite thing ever. All that stuff. MDC, Millions of Dead Cops, Millions of Dead Children, Multi-Death Corporation, all that stuff.
That was a great time. We opened for them once. They stayed at our house.
No shit.
Their drummer's name was Auschwitz, and he was mortified that we had a nativity scene made of boogers. And
really,
he almost had a panic attack. I think those guys were doing
name is
speed or
Auschwitz.
something, because he was like, "Yo, you'd never do that to me, would you, Dave? Would you ever do that to me, man? Would you ever do that to me? Show me something like that." He was traumatized by it.
Yeah, he was high.
Wow.
That sounds really high. DRI, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles. I was in
DRI, fantastic band.
Yeah.
Madman.
Yeah.
You know that the talking part in Madman where the dad comes down, he's like, "What the hell are you guys doing here? I come home from work. I don't want to listen to this garbage. What are you hanging around with this loser for? He's a dropout."
That was my
And then he
jam.
goes, "You want us to stop? We'll stop." And then they get into Madman. He'll kick your butt.
Yep.
Great stuff.
Couch
Great
Slouch.
times.
That was my favorite song, Couch Slouch. But yeah, good. had a good time listening to music, but that was my escapism back then, just like comic books were and everything else when my life was total shit.
Yeah, comic books are a great way for 8-year-olds to escape, and then hardcore is a great way for 14-year-olds to escape.
And I still read and listen to both.
20-year-olds to escape, and then fighting is a great way for all young men to escape.
Yeah, unless you lose. I did that a lot, and it hurt. It hurt actually. But hey, who else do we need?
Wait a minute. I'm interested in your life now. So what happened with your parents?
My parents were cool. My parents. I was adopted, right? So I was
like Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, and I was I was just like Colin Kaepernick. I was an ungrateful shit. I was a piece of shit kid.
So your parents were loving.
My parents were cool. I mean, they did the best they could with like a wild child, right? My birth parents were super young, and my dad had abandoned my 16-year-old mom. So she gave birth to me in a Salvation Army, in the Salvation, because like unwed mothers weren't
donation?
cool.
You're like Jesus.
Except retarded. I don't know.
No. Fun fact:
Right next to the bars.
Gary's birth mom was still young enough to enjoy Spider-Man.
She was. She was.
It's like a hero origin story, though, Gary. Like,
You know what that makes me think? That people are just genetically who they are from birth, and you were raised by these like beautiful middle class, nice white people, but you were the biological product of baddies. So what did you do? You became another bad kid, just like they were. You know, Debbie Harry, she was like some slut had her in an alleyway, and then rich people adopted her. And what did she do when she was 16? She started going to CBGBs and being a dirty bitch.
And she turned down the role for Pris in Blade Runner. I didn't know that until a couple of days ago.
Oh, shit.
That was a stupid move, but she admits it. But no, hey, I love Debbie Harry. But she made something of herself eventually, and I kind of hope I did too.
I fucked her at a party once.
What?
What?
Whoa, what?
I don't believe you.
No, just kidding.
Hey.
Would have been nice.
It sounded good. It sounded good.
Like to have.
Hey,
You should have just stayed with it.
Hey,
stayed with it.
proving that not all women aren't funny. Hello, Chrissie Mayr. How are you?
Oh, hi. It's so good to be here. This has been fun. We're having a blast. I'm just enjoying reading the chat, seeing people confused, and then people are coming around on Gav here.
Dude, Gavin's awesome. This is
What did you say when it just becomes an icon like that, like the avatar? Does that mean he's picking his nose and eating it?
Jerking it.
Or
He's jerking.
I'm jerking off.
Jerking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally jerking it.
He's one of those never soft teen guys.
I never stopped her. Yeah, it's good to
Busted.
be here. Excited for Vegas. Looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Vegas.
What's
will be
happening
fun.
in Vegas?
We're doing a meetup in
cool.
about a month.
Annual meetup.
Yeah, this will be our third one. We meet our fellow members of the audience, and I buy them their first round, even though I'm sober, and I get them tacos and throw them a little party for because I'm grateful. I'm grateful that they supported this channel and all my friends and this show, and it's the least I can do. So I throw them a little party.
Is this your full-time job?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't think it would hapen. I was working for Elon when I started this stuff. So I was working at Tesla.
At Tesla?
Yeah, selling
Yeah,
auto
he was
parts.
helping him throw used batteries in the ocean.
I
think.
was. Well, that wasn't all. Poorly. Well, we had
bodies.
We had steering links that were poorly galvanized, and we dumped them all in a landfill. We had to spend an entire night doing that.
Cool.
Got a lot of money.
Wow.
Though. Got triple pay for doing that. It was fun. I can talk about it now because my NDA has expired.
Is it legal?
I can't say that.
Oh no.
You got paid for it.
Because we always talk about the water table. People don't understand that dumping shit isn't necessarily bad. Like I like to say to environmentalists, would it be okay for me to go to a lake with a canoe, take a dishwasher or a clothes dryer, whatever, a dishwasher, and just push it over my canoe? It sinks to the bottom, and there it sits. And they go, "Oh, that would be bad. It would take it like maybe 100 years to break down." And I'm like, "So? It's just a fish house."
They sink ships to make coral reefs.
The dilution of the ocean, because it's so fucking massive. You could put almost anything in there; it doesn't fucking matter.
it can take it on the
There was a
chin.
meltdown
Like,
in the
Freon's
ocean.
bad.
I think maybe
Yeah.
like 1,000 fridges might be bad though.
Fukushima only made a couple of three-headed fish. It's fine. It's fine.
Every time we fucking like have these massive fucking like oil pipeline ruptures and everything, and just spewing thousands of gallons of oil, it's like whatever.
It's
like,
on the
you get a
news
couple
for
people
fucking
out there to
months
take their
straight.
fucking photo ops of like cleaning off ducts or some shit, but everything really is fine.
Oh, what the big
commercial?
I don't know. Until Agenda 2030 seizes all the polluted land, like if that's true, that's gonna fucking suck.
Well, they'll just say it's polluted and take it. With the Exxon spill up in Alaska, didn't the cleanup cause more damage than the actual spill? So,
oh really?
What
Yeah, it
happened?
did.
We'll never talk about that. If it did a big, it was a
These dummies
massive
think
impact.
in my neighborhood up in Westchester, there's on Earth Day they spend like thousands of dollars on contractor bags, and they get those little pick up the garbagey things, and they pick up garbage because garbage is bad for the environment. How? I don't know. Apparently, it destroys Mother Nature to like throw a bubblegum wrapper on the ground, even though the bubblegum wrapper came from the ground initially, but wax and plastic and paper aren't allowed to go back to the ground. But the problem is we pay such insane taxes that every park has a staff of like 100 dudes. So the entire place is spotless. So what they do is they take the contractor bags, which you've already polluted the environment by buying more plastic, and they pick up like twigs, because that's the only thing on the ground, and leaves, and they put that into the bag. They'll get like one contractor bag will have 7 leaves and 4 twigs, and then they hand that in. Like, job well done. Thanks for saving the earth.
We just wrapped something biodegradable in plastic where it can't be biodegradable anymore. Job well done.
Thank you for using paper straws that have been individually wrapped in plastic.
In plastic
Really
by
appreciate
slave
it.
labor. Well done. Well done. Garrett, are you looking for that
Yeah, I'm trying to
article?
find it.
Because there is something that is very worthy of being dumped into a landfill that's being dumped into a landfill soon. So
I think landfills are great. They make a mountain, and then you get a bunch of free soil.
And then you build a lot of them. Well, God, there's one in San Diego called Fiesta Island. So it's an island in the middle of a man-made bay. That's a fucking landfill that they put a man-made bay over, and everybody has bonfires on it. And there's like methane seeping from it, and it smells like shit. Good old Fiesta Island.
Somewhere in Virginia, there's like just a big old fucking landfill that's called Mount Trashmore. That's really what they fucking named it.
There's
There's a
Bandini
huge park
Mountain.
around it.
You ever heard of Bandini Mountain, which was the mountain of manure? That they had the guy ski off of in the commercial. Well, you guys aren't from SoCal, so Bandini Mountain they had a guy skiing down a mountain of manure. It was good stuff.
Don't we need manure in our for agriculture? Why do they have extra manure?
Well, it was for
Cows make a lot of shit.
Well, yeah, it was. There was a lot of suburbia was being built up in the 70s and 80s in SoCal. So yeah, people were fertilizing their lawns. You get to go to Bandini Mountain. Yeah,
I can't read that header.
It says, "This is not a place of honor. Up to 36 million worth of Funko Pops to be entombed in landfills."
Good. That's where they belong. I friggin' hate Funko Pops.
Fucking
If you're gonna get an action, if you're gonna get an action figure, get a cool one. Look how friggin' gay they look. Put them in the landfill where they belong.
That's gonna suddenly make them popular in like 30 years. People are gonna go, "Oh,
So,
we gotta hunt for all the missing Funko
Yeah,
Pops."
For Gavin,
Yeah.
I'm going to say
These
that like
artifacts.
pop vinyls are like Blink 182 and Offspring. Okay, they're like just the
Hey.
they're poser
Like
punk
Offspring?
rock. Yeah,
like
and
that.
Green
You know who
Day.
likes
I'll
Funko
roll
Pops?
Green Day in there
Little
too.
Kids. Little kids
Yeah.
love those things.
No, actually, I don't think any kids buy. I think no self-respecting
likes them.
kid is going to buy any of these. These are purely for
My
adults.
10-year-old's got a bunch.
I don't hate Funko Pops. I don't love them. I don't hate them. I'm
It's what they
indifferent. It doesn't
represent.
bother
Shouldn't have
me,
an
so
opinion on those.
Oh, I
just
have
don't
one.
care. I mean, I bought a couple of the GI Joe ones.
That's 'cause
because they
you're
were
gay.
GI Joe themed. So
Oh man, can you guys believe how bad Peppa Pig is this year? What a shitty season, man. Like Peppa Pig is she's totally lost her oomph.
Hey, I have to watch that shit. I got small kids.
I can't believe they made Peppa a black transgender woman.
Yeah.
Like keep
Fucking
doing that. Keep
bullshit,
race swapping.
man.
And then you go to switch over to Teletubbies and it's just as bad.
Yeah. Like
Our
Peppa Pig was
culture's dying.
Peppa Pig was already diverse enough. Like she's
Yeah.
British, so she's obviously retarded, right? Like you obviously have your virtue signaling there, but then to make her black and trans, I think was over.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Somebody in the chat said it right,
Blink.
Gary. Though I think you just disrespected Blink 182 and Offspring. You should have said Good Charlotte. That would have been.
I'll roll that in there too.
Is even lower.
Dude,
all the same.
Nickelback.
I've
Good
worked
Charlotte
all
the same.
I worked on their
Post-hardcore
car.
shit. Punk was about screaming and being mad at the world. Hardcore was American punk, and hardcore said, "I'm going to take away your silly hairdos and your tartan pants, and I'm speeding up the music." So America made punk fast, cheap, and easy. Bam, bam, bam. Just get it done. We got to get out of here. You can wear a sweatshirt and shave your head, and boom. But then that post-hardcore where they were trying to sing nice, that's not the deal. That's not what we agreed upon. It's
not what we signed up for.
Blink-182 and all those bands that are trying to sound good, like Green Day.
Yeah.
Fucking Green Day. I hate
I like
Green Day. Ever
Face
since
to
they came out with
face.
American Idiot and it was the dumbest shit, I'm like,
Little
dude, you
commie
guys are
punks. That's what they are.
I like Green Day.
communists.
I like
Yeah.
Green Day.
I don't want to be I don't want to be another Klansman like the rest
They're
of all you
bitches.
Americans. Fuck you.
Yep.
Then leave.
Asshole.
They were
He
bitches.
grew up-
I
he
like
grew up
them.
in
This
Bur-
takeaway is, what's the matter with being a Klansman? Fuck you.
You guys
Hey,
keep your whites white.
we still have one more person to introduce. I've been looking forward to this. Exude girl.
Every time. Hello. I'll keep my intro short. That's it.
I feel like Xray Girl's about to give everybody a happy ending with that kind of.
Oh, people.
Need to
What you
light some
want? What you
incense.
want? I give you.
Meanwhile, she's Japanese and they killed like millions of Chinese people.
Are you?
Well, the
Are you?
Chinese
I
killed
thought she was. Are you
Japanese too, so-
Japanese or are you?
She's Vietnamese.
She's
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
There's a little Chinese in there, but you know.
That's just because of the little penis, though.
You're quarter Chinese.
Oh, you got it wrong, Gav. It wasn't Chinese people. It was Americans that they killed a lot of.
I bet the Chinese killed
And then we
tons
killed
of
a lot of them.
Vietnamese too.
Oh
at some
yeah.
point.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much all Asian people hate the Chinese, right?
Yeah, even the
Because
Chinese do.
hate them.
Yeah.
And the oldest.
It's funny how people think that Trump saying that China virus is bad is going to be hard on American Chinese. You can shit on China all day long, and when you see a Chinese American, you go, "High five, dude! You made it out. Nice."
Yep.
That place sucks, right? And he's like, "Yeah, thank God I got out of there." It's not like coming from Canada or Britain or Australia where they go, "My hometown was nice, but I wanted to try this." People who came from China, they fucking escaped. It's North Korea.
And same with people from North Korea. They're like, they escaped hell on
It's
earth.
same like whenever you meet an African from Africa, they're always like the nicest fucking people. Like they're like, think I'm in America.
We're happy they don't have to fucking fight someone to the
Yeah.
death for a chicken.
So yeah, it's almost like every immigrant who comes here, or most, are grateful at the rights we have left. Yeah,
They
ask,
actually appreciate the country. That,
ask
you
a
know,
Cuban about
freedom.
communism. I'm sure they'll
They
tell you
don't
how much
hate
they love
white
it.
people, Africans. They're like, oh, the white man. That is the guy who does the inventions. He's always coming up with some cockamamie scheme. I like the thing he makes. He makes a thing that can dispense toothpaste. He's a real handyman, the white man. Unfortunately,
right.
the gay
He's
white
so
man
right.
has the poo-poo on his face.
Oh, you do that accent far too well.
They eat the poo-poo.
Oh God, that was
And
good.
just if there's any Africans watching, I'm not defending gay culture and the shit they get up to, but they don't literally eat the poo-poo. They'll eat the ass, and there may be a remnant, a little flake or two around the anal lips.
It's not all gay
That's an
people.
unfortunate
It's
side
not the
effect.
same
They're
thing.
not
Straight
going for
people
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Like the starfish
like we
too.
You don't have like a poo-poo Sunday.
That's just collateral damage. If
Wow.
that happens.
Exactly. Two
Yeah.
gays, one cup.
Yeah.
And if it's any consolation, straights eat the poo-poo too. When they're eating a girl's ass, they may get a flake or two.
But it's straight.
Collateral damage.
Collateral
No.
damage.
It's all
yeah.
good.
No
Yeah.
flake.
No one's going for that, but shit literally happens.
Yep. We're on the
Okay.
same. We all finally agree. Gavin said
yeah,
something
we
we all
got
agree
it.
on. There you go. Hey.
United. United.
Bringing people together. That's what we do here. By the way, hi Twitter. How you doing? Gabriel Knight.
This entire show.
This entire show.
We're respecting gay culture. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Every right.
Might be a first for this show, to be honest. So, making strides.
Gabriel Knight, this came in before the show started for $49.99. Shad, how much are your robot overlords paying you to push AI art? You are going to bring in Skynet takeover and nuclear Armageddon. Also, why does your country still have a Kmart? Your country still has Kmart?
Wait,
we do still have Kmarts.
Is Rain Man the
prime in the town I live in? We got a Kmart.
Is Rain Man the prime minister?
And also, my AI overlords. How do you know I'm not an
hang
AI
on.
artificial
Hail
intelligence
FNT, hail Shad,
myself?
hell no to AI and Kmart. Now, I've got nothing against Kmart, to be honest with you, but
Kmart's great. Do you guys still have IGA?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't.
Great.
Oh, you talking about where he's at?
IGA.
Probably.
That was IGA.
Yeah, no, we've
It's
got
like a
an
grocery
IGA.
store, isn't it?
IGA.
Kmart, IGA,
Yeah,
and
no guns.
AI.
But
Like,
hey.
to answer the AI thing, I am an AI, so they don't have to pay me a thing. I'm part of the robot. You know.
What if we're all AI, bro?
We could.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh shit.
We're all actually in the Matrix.
We're in the
It's a
Matrix.
simulation.
Plugged in
bro.
right now.
You do enough of these shows, and it can just figure out with the pattern, and then you can go home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
That's actually a really good point.
or I could just stay home but not go live. That would be
Just start the AI up.
cool. Cool. MVP Max Von Priestley. Oh, what's up, Max?
So Max.
For 3 parts or 2 parts for $50. It's the best version of our favorite pop culture icons will live uniquely inside of our hearts. The heroes and their stories will live on through us, the fans, because they are bigger than just what is put down on paper. Their ideals, their values will endure forever. Thank you all for doing what you do. Continue to fight the good fight. God bless, Semper Fi, and hail. Max is a former Marine, or still former Marine. Also, shameless plug for my channel, Comics, Warhammer, and Pop Culture. Check out Max Von Priestley. He's good.
MVP.
Help me move. So one
Good
friend
man.
who came over and helped me move. Everybody, all these other guys,
Wow.
not an answer to the phone
That's your
call.
friend.
Nothing.
To be
Bro, I
fair,
was at your
to be
house
fair-
before you were, bro.
To be fair, helping someone move is literally the fucking worst thing in the world.
It is the
Right.
worst.
Awful.
That's
It's
why
awful.
you
What
know.
kind of asshole asks someone to help them move?
Yeah, dude, seriously.
It's not even
Come on.
expensive anymore.
It's the total dick move. Like
You
it's-
get a bunch of people. It's like
Gotta get
$100 an
movers.
hour. They 3 dudes. They lift all the couches and everything. I mean, when we had just an apartment and it was only one of us, it was like a couch, a bed, and some boxes. Now that you have like a family, asking anyone but an illegal immigrant to help you move
Okay,
is just
I
immoral.
would normally do that. I
Right.
would normally go to the Home Depot, but it was COVID times in California, so that was just not happening.
So where do you live now?
I live in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeehaw.
Surface of the sun, but it's free, baby. So I'm good. It's better than California.
worth
Fuck California.
And how many kids do you have?
2. But they're old.
What age?
26 and 17.
Shut up.
I feel like I'm watching a first date.
You like long walks on the beach?
Guys, go ahead and fucking get it over with.
What music do you like? We like the same bands.
Forget AI. We got gay eye.
He's got an interesting life. He was a homeless 15-year-old, adopted sea urchin, and now he's got some kids running around, and he makes money talking about Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking American dream,
Isn't it
man.
crazy?
I know.
learning.
This is a
Gavin's
superhero
learning.
origin
He's
story.
learning.
Paging Dr.
Buckets.
On this show, I don't know why I bother even, like, we should just use the real gamer word at that point.
Starting to believe.
Are you? Drunken Finn for 50 British pounds. That is proper money. Thank you very much. Come on, work. Hail FNT. I changed my name from what the hell is that, Xray girl?
Kikali Helvetti.
Okay, what the hell? Thank you to something Gary can somewhat read. Thank you. Yes, kicked out of 3 high schools. Also, I'm happy to find that I found this clusterfuck through Shad a week before the New Zealander came out of the closet as someone who loves men with boobs. Oh, we're talking about Az.
That's
right. Poor Az.
Poor ass.
Not even here.
Hey, you
need
jerk
the
off
clip
to
right
that
now.
many
We need the
trans.
clip.
You
We need
jerk
the
off to
clip.
that many trans women, and you know,
Yeah,
it's never.
we need the
never-
clip. We need the clip. Somebody play it right now. You know the clip. You know the clip. Let's do it. This is
What's
just
what
for
are you
I
talking
don't
about?
have it.
Hold on.
Does anyone
the
have
whoa. Come
that?
on.
Oh,
you gotta
that
have-
clip.
Yeah.
I got news.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you gay.
I think you could probably play the music at this point. This
You're like, man.
this might quickly
that doesn't
become
mean
a.
you're gay, by the way. It means you're a very, very horny black dude.
You know what?
I'll
It's
slow it
not
Oh,
gay.
wow. That's great.
You know
Hang
what's
on, are you
not gay?
confessing something there, Gavin? Because I think it's totally gay.
When you're
gay.
talking
Oh my
about men with tits, like you notice you go to a water park and the tits are getting to the point where they're like as better than my wife's. Like they've got a nice scoop to them. They got some good texture. And I was just thinking, I wonder if there's been a moment where some dude is banging his girlfriend and his tits are like going in her face and she like maybe sucks one of them. And then maybe he's like, that was great. And then that becomes a thing. Where
Do they
she
have
sucks
feeling?
his tits
And then he's
more
like,
than
you know,
he
I need a
sucks
little more
her tits.
support here, I think.
There are
You know,
some
like,
guys
bro,
who have nipple fetishes, but it's not good.
Their own
It's not good
nipples.
to be involved with that.
I wonder if there's ever been
It
a
sounds like
moment
you know.
where there's a woman getting fucked and she has two male tits on either side of her head, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
You mean trans tits or moobs?
No, moobs.
Talking about, yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no.
I'm
not
wondering
fake
if
tits, but man
as
titties.
moobs get
Oh.
more and more common, are moobs starting to become part of the sex play?
No, no,
No moves.
Maybe,
No
maybe.
moves.
Hey, yeah, maybe. I don't know. What
You know
I
the
feel like
beauty
I'm
of when
a lot
you
of weird
die.
shit going on out there.
When you die, you go to heaven, and there's a thing called God Oogle, and you type in shit like this, and it comes up.
Ugh.
Oh, it gives you an
No.
explanation.
What makes a
Something to look
guy
forward to.
attractive is like the low key ability to protect you, and a guy with moobs is not going to be good at protecting you.
I know,
Is
but
that what
the
you're
moobs
thinking
are
about?
reaching like.
Is that what you're thinking about when you're like facing like the
It's
wall,
like
getting fucking
No,
railed?
it's
You
a
think
back brain biological thing. Of
this
course,
man
when you're in
can protect
doggy, you're
me?
not looking at anything. But
Yeah.
But Chrissy, moobs are approaching 20% of the male population right now.
Yeah.
They're going to be incorporated into things.
That's
Well,
why we need to
over
fat shame.
50% of America is either obese or overweight now, according to some more recent reports. So better fucking get used to it, girls.
They did incorporate it into the
no.
Rings of
Sorry.
Power, so
Come
there
in.
was moob armor.
Let's see every male's tits right now, not the ladies, but let's the top 6 guys. Let's see what you got.
Oh my
No.
God.
wow,
Doing that. That'll get me forever.
Come on, what are we
All right,
doing here?
all right.
No,
Hey,
no.
Eat it, whisper.
No.
Why did only 2 of us do it?
No.
Wow.
I got to
Where's
keep an air on
Adam?
See my
mystery.
titties, I don't care.
What are you guys hiding? Dried jizz?
I'm hiding the memes
My
that
third
will live on
nipple.
forever because I know the show. So
For the
I
meme.
only give the
Hey, some
internet
of
what I
us
want
have-
the internet to have.
Yep.
So that's it.
Go to the beach.
Maybe they have
Ain't happening.
swastika tattoos under there. Who knows?
Do you wear
the fuck up,
slippers when
Chrissy.
you go swimming?
Confidence.
Moobs.
No, worse, a Spider-Man tattoo. That'd be more embarrassing than a swastika one.
Okay,
Head right there.
I have one of those on my back, by the way.
Spider-Man or
Mario
swastika?
tattoo.
I have a
Let's
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, in the
Hey,
shape of a
Gary spent lot of time in
swastika.
prison, all right?
The only thing that would have made that better is if literally
switch.
Garrett jumped on it real quick, but if no one would have done it but Gavin, that would have been so funny.
Garrett couldn't wait.
Garrett can't wait to
Garrett's
take
like,
his
"Ah,
fucking
here we
clothes
go."
off. Are you kidding me?
I have a
Garrett's
tattoo on my
worked
back.
out.
I have a tattoo on my back of a skullhead jellyfish eating Chiang Kai-shek and Fidel Castro.
I think you need to show it.
Okay,
Yeah,
ready?
It's a
Yeah,
red
right.
tattoo.
Here we go.
Oh my god!
Oh my
Where is
God.
that?
Damn.
What am I looking at?
Damn, I was thinking a small tattoo. That is
It's
not a
huge.
small tattoo.
It's on the whole
Wow.
thing.
Jeez.
That's fun.
It is
That's a
so
lot.
embarrassing being at the water park with that thing. You think moves are bad. By having your 21-year-old brain taking up half of your body.
Wow.
Well, Gavin, I'm wearing a gambeson. I can't exactly get this off at the moment, but I actually do have something that I could share. Like, there you go. Sorry.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's pretty good.
That's totally you, Shad. There you go.
Yeah, totally you.
moves
Totally
right
you.
there.
Absolutely.
You got a lot of fucking abs.
Wait,
Yeah.
I can't really see
Wow.
the screens well. Are you wearing chainmail?
Yes.
Yeah, right here. You know.
A sweatshirt.
Australia has nothing to do with that. Why are you so into that? That's English culture. You should be into like, I don't know, raping kangaroos or something.
Whole channel.
Oi, Gavin, where do you think my ancestry hails from?
But didn't you guys lose a
Aboriginals.
war to birds?
No. We haven't lost it. We're still friggin' waiting it, and we'll get those bastards eventually.
Oh my gosh.
See an emu?
If
we
you had a gun,
we have
though,
not
if you
lost.
had a
We
gun.
are still
Everyone is
fighting.
triggered.
The world might have forgotten. No, the world might have forgotten. The war is still happening, and it's not over until we kill
Okay.
every single last one of those bastards.
What are they, emus or something?
Yeah, emus.
If you all had guns there, you could take care of that problem.
Yeah.
Swords and longbows, they do the job. They all right.
Apparently not.
Have you
What
tried,
was the
Garrett?
point
Have
where
you
the
tried?
Australian army said, retreat, it's not going to happen. Go
We're
back.
not
These birds are
worthy."
too good.
Well, bullets don't really work, and when they swarm and the pecking and the eyeball gouging and stuff, but the swords,
Shotgun.
they do the job.
That's
No,
right.
shotguns don't work either. You like it. 2 shotguns, maybe.
Get a Gatling
That shows
gun.
you how useless abos are, where they can't beat the local criminals, but a fucking bird goes, move aside, abo, I got this.
Heard
Put 'em
some
in
of the
an air
indigenous
fryer.
population may be too busy sniffing the petrol down there to
Yeah,
Let's say
put up a fight.
that's how they won. They just gave them gas.
Oh, well.
gasoline.
Look what they're doing to us. Just giving us fentanyl, which is like the worst drug imaginable. I can't even, like, who would even do that stuff?
Well,
It
I
just
was
takes you
listening to Joe
straight.
Biden recently. He said a man could be killed with only 20,000 pounds of fentanyl.
Man, that seems like
No,
that
it's less
seems
than
like
that.
not that much. I feel like I could just eat that in a
Yeah,
second.
this desk is probably about 20,000 pounds of fentanyl. It's probably this big.
Wow.
Like, Joe, could you be farther off, please? What a fucking
Smaller than a grain of rice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kill you.
I think a grain of sand will tear you a new ass. And he says 20,000 pounds. It's enough to kill a man.
Did you hear?
Nice work, Joe.
Is that not technically correct, though? Would that would kill
Yeah, you're right.
He just wanted to be really, really safe. He didn't want to be fact checked, you know.
Very, very dead.
The challenge is getting past 1 grain of sand. Like George Floyd could barely handle a third of a grain of sand. So let's see him. Let's see us try to get up to 1 pound of fentanyl before
Yeah.
dying and pretending some cop's knee was the culprit.
Maybe he was just thinking about dropping the whole thing on top of him. It's like that. might
Maybe.
kill him as well.
Yes, if 20,000 pounds of fentanyl fell on you, you would die. It's
You
enough
would
to kill a
die.
man.
It's
Yeah.
enough to
Thanks,
kill a-
thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that.
Did you hear about the Americans who got kidnapped?
Yeah.
And the cartel returned the living ones and the 2 dead bodies with an apology?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You know what that clearly is?
That's
These cartels, they have prospects all the time, guys that want to join. One of them stole some of the coke. One of them fucked one of the main guy's girls. So they get a no from MS-13. But you don't just say you didn't make the cuts. You have to use them as sacrificial lambs. So the 7 losers or whatever it is that had fucked up the process of moving up in the gang have to be sacrificed. So they're like, bad news, dude. We're making you responsible for those black dudes we killed for fun. And then they throw them into the wolves and they get their sacrifice. It's like that. Remember that show Locked Up Abroad? And they're working with these groups and you're like, dude, they don't like you. They're going to sacrifice you to the police because that's the deal. The police need numbers. So they don't want to use their own guys. So they're going to use your white ass, you moron. And you watch that show and they do it twice successfully. And then it's like, it's always an English guy. He's like, I had to go one more time. I thought, you know what? I've done it. It's worked twice. So why not give it another go? And when I got to the airport, I had a very bad feeling. And you're like, yeah, that's called instincts, boob. And then he just fucking plows forward. Next thing you know, he's in fucking Thailand fighting with a rat over who gets to eat the lice.
Jeez. I'd so much rather just name 5 cereals.
Yeah, we have a good gang. It's all friends.
I think I'll go way more conspiratorial. I think the cartels are allowed to do what they want. Just don't mess with Americans. And if you do publicly mess with Americans, you mess with the other cartel, the CIA, who's working with them. And that's why they got a letter of apology going, we're totally sorry. Please don't send the military in to, because, Gay Lindsey Graham was already like, we're going to send the military.
No,
Yeah,
our two
Lindsay.
theories don't contradict each other. They're not mutually exclusive.
Yep.
You're
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and I'm right.
Yep.
So the America said we need some guys. And they go, well, we'll use these prospect losers that didn't make the cuts.
Yep. So the lesson is don't go to whatever that town was, south of Texas, to get cosmetic.
Yeah,
It's called Mexico. To get cosmetic surgery, or you might get kidnapped and gunned down.
Yeah, I'm a pussy, but I was thinking of taking my family to Mexico City just because it's a nice time of the year. It's not too hot and it's pretty with the 700-year-old streets and buildings and stuff. But I'm not going anymore. It seems more dangerous than Colombia at this point.
I think it might be.
Yeah, I can't see any reason to fucking go to
Unless you
Mexico.
go to an
Everybody's
all-inclusive.
fucking swimming across rivers and fucking coming here. Shit, can't be that good down there.
I stayed at an all-inclusive. I had a really nice time.
Dude, it used to be totally
as long
chill
as you
down
stay
there.
right
You used to
there,
be able to go down there back in the day, just cross the border. You didn't need a freaking ID, and you just come back when you're done. You could do some underage drinking. It was great. Good time.
That's how you became a bad kid.
Exactly.
Exactly. No, but Chrissy, I'm not talking about all-inclusives. I still would probably try that out because we know how much money is invested in keeping those safe. But I kind of want it to be like in downtown Mexico City and going to get a chuerta and maybe a glass of
Chalupa.
huevito.
Yeah.
I just made up those names, but you get the idea.
But yeah,
What
sounded
yeah.
good to me.
Asian chicks picking her nose and eating it?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
or
most likely.
jerking off, like we said.
She's
Either
frying
way,
up a
it's one of
dog.
the two things.
Or satisfying her one-legged husband. Maybe. I don't know. One of those.
I thought those guys loved you for a long time. She's already piecing out.
No, she's gone.
She loves him for a long time.
Yeah. You embarrassed her, Gavin.
Oh my
That's all
god. I went to the bathroom.
What's the matter with showing your desk while you go to the bathroom? You're not pissing on the desk.
I don't know. It's more professional.
Door and
Yeah, we're very professional.
We're all about professionalism on this
We're
show.
the most
so, yeah.
professional show on the internet.
So, what, Nerdrotic, what were you doing when you turned your shit off?
Oh, what was I doing? I was picking my
Yeah.
nose and eating it. Yeah. And jerking off at the same time.
at the same.
Yeah, one hand each.
One hand each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should quit jerking off. It's terrible for your marriage.
Yeah, I'm usually just scratching my balls or going to get something to drink.
No,
Wait,
yeah.
Gavin, you
I'm
never
usually
jerk off
drinking
ever?
something or
No, never.
Never. When's the last time you jerked off?
This morning. But besides that, never.
Except for that.
No,
Yeah.
we came up with the Proud Boys came up with a rule. You cannot ejaculate if you're not within a yard of your significant other with her
Yard.
permission. A
You
yard.
need, like, yardstick. I don't know if it's gonna go that far.
A yard.
That's
Are they all living in
That's a
studio
business.
apartments? What about 100
Sometimes a
feet?
woman-
Why is it got to be a yard?
You don't get that much
Because-
air.
Because sometimes a woman isn't into it, or she's pregnant, or she's menstruating, so she could just like reach over and tickle your balls or something. You're still establishing a connection, so you're still having sex in a way. So it's still healthy for the
You're
relationship.
having sex at her, not with her.
But she's still involved in the process.
sex
At least to the
Sure,
guy.
That's still good. You're still laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still involved.
But jerking off alone to porn is like training yourself to, I don't know, not be with your significant other. It's also single men are learning that there's another alternative to going out and meeting chicks. You're also, by the way, watching two meth addicts who were raped by their parents, especially the woman. I don't think the man had that much sexual damage, but you're watching a pedophile victim who's addicted to meth get reamed by some fucking biker pervert, and you're spilling your seed to that. That's bad brain training.
Some
Yeah,
men
but if
are
they tell the
abused too.
story, if they tell the story well enough, then I can believe it. You know?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
I'm there for the in betweens. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm here for the
why the
art.
stepsister got stuck. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a hero.
How did she get in the dryer?
Wait, I missed that one. What?
Like they get stuck. There's like a genre of
thing.
stuck porn when you get stuck under a bed or stuck in a
Oh,
dryer.
yeah.
It's like a
You know,
coffee
fence.
table. You go to a coffee.
Yeah.
It's
That
like,
does
listen,
give me
we've
a
let
boner.
women get away with a lot of shit. That is the laziest fucking thing we've let women get away with. Starting a genre of porn where you just fucking sit there pretending you're stuck under a desk or stuck in a dryer while you get fucked. Like, come on.
I do
Oh,
occasionally check RedTube's like grid to see what they're up to, and it is 100% stepsister, stepfather, stepmother. Does everyone want to fuck their family? I don't know when that happened.
It's literally the only taboo thing left. That's why the genre really took off.
Yeah,
Gross.
It's
They're not
gross.
they're not allowed to make rape porn anymore, so they got to do that now.
Yeah, there are
I mean, isn't
standards.
that just regular
There are
porn?
standards. Draw the line there.
But you know, we came across this anti-porn thing, me and the comedian Dante Nero, just as a dumb Seinfeld dare. And 10 days into it, I called him and I was like, dude, are you skipping when you go down the street and singing in the shower? And he's like, yeah, and I'm a genius and I can lift 700 pounds. Like, it turns you into, you guys were like this, a superhero. And you rape your wife, like you chased her down the street. And that's good for your
It
marriage.
gets you in that, like, the hunter.
That is fun. Yeah.
Because if you watch porn and your wife isn't in the mood, then you're like, bye, bitch. I don't care. I got a bunch of 10s on my computer that are dying to be with me. But
Bunch of
if
10s
that's
that are
the
meth
only
addicts.
place, if you're only getting your water from one spigot, then you don't want to jeopardize that spigot or you'll die of dehydration.
Yeah, you're on point.
Yeah,
Great.
fair. That spigot's properly filtered. It's good water. You know.
This is the most space stuff Gavin is saying. Get off the porn, guys.
off
It's
the
bad
I
for you.
agree with this.
The only problem is when you
I-
finally do blow your load on your wife, she looks like a sculpture of herself at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum if the air conditioning was broken.
A lot of built up.
Wait, I thought you said there was a downside.
She looks like she fell into the top of a Maker's Mark bottle, but clear.
How specific.
She looks like Casper the Friendly Ghost when it's 115 degrees outside.
Very,
What I
very
thought
friendly
she
ghost.
wanted.
She looks like she got slimed when they ran out of green dye at Nickelodeon. She looks like a Christmas tree made of jizz. I don't know. I'm just fucking.
Merry Christmas.
So, Cake This Barbarian for 50 British pounds. Hail all. Traveling down to Edinburgh right now. So you're probably there since the starting of the show because, you know, the UK is such a tiny country. And need entertainment. You're going to provide around 3 hours left. Then in a couple days, it's off to Amsterdam for a lads week. Well, that sounds dangerous. Yeah. Why do people go to Amsterdam anymore? Everybody can smoke pot now. I mean, it's like
Is
totally
that guy in
legal.
Edinburgh the new? Right now he's in Edinburgh.
That's right. UK
So he's a
meetup.
burger. Is he a fucking burger? Because I'm a Ouija and I don't like me a burger.
I'm gonna say yeah. UK meetup when? September. Month of September. We're gonna have dates. I promised to have dates today. I don't know if I can do that though. But in September. I need to save up for that too. September. So you got a few months. Thank you. Can't wait to get in a effing plane flown by a very diverse yet inexperienced crew and praying not to die.
Are you going to go business class?
Yes.
Got to go business class,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Dude, if you buy your ticket months in advance, first class isn't that crazy. I actually haven't done it internationally yet, but within America, I've been getting prices like $600, $700 if I do it months in advance.
That's why we want to like decide the dates now so we can
Get the dates.
That's why we
get
need
the
those
dates. Hayden 75 for $50. Hail Friday Night Tights. Hail the Fellowship. Hail Gavin
Thanks for being here. It's my birthday today. Question: have you guys seen the Monstrosity Paint? The movie coming out that seems to be a Bob Ross parody flick. Oh yeah, with Owen Wilson. What have they done to my boy? Much love. Is it? It's a parody, right?
I would love to see like a movie that was Bob Ross, but he's actually like a big fucking crime boss, and he's just murdering people and raping people and shit. That'd be awesome. Kidding me? Give me one of those Mr. Rogers too, by the way.
Didn't he get bought by Jews?
Who? Bob Ross?
Don't we all at some point?
No, I think some Jewish couple invested in him very early, and they gave him like a salary, but they owned 100% of his paintings. And they got rich off of him.
I heard he's got a kid.
Doesn't sound Jewish at all.
No,
I don't believe it.
I heard his kid got his stuff. I'm not sure. No, I was never into Bob Ross. I don't know.
His last name was Schneider. Funny enough.
Oh.
Yeah, it's corny.
Patrick L's in 4 parts for $80. God. Missed these openings. God bless Perry Chan. Welcome and hail to the wonderful geeks and nerds and dorks. Hail and welcome to Mr. Gavin McInnes. Glad to see you here. Pardon our very quirky show. We already apologized to Gavin McInnes about our show. Yeah, super.
And I think he misspoke because quirky. I think he meant retarded.
Yeah,
that's the term.
Yeah.
I don't think you can type that though. They might not let him type.
They might not. Wow. I tried typing that for Jeremy's birthday. I tried retarded and gay, and they wouldn't let me do it in a super chat. So
I appreciated the effort, though.
Thank you.
Appreciated the
Thank
effort.
you. Seeing as now it is problematic to speak a gendered language such as Spanish, how fluent is everyone? Gavin, when conservatives shun infantile things such as games, comics, and cartoons, we allow the left to come in and indoctrinate our youth, which he wasn't arguing against. He just thinks it's still childish, which I disagree with. This is why we need more geeks and nerds and dorks on the conservative side, or just the side of common sense, instead
You're
of
echoing, Gary.
Am I echoing?
Yeah, you're echoing.
Echo.
Oh yeah, it's coming through on our end.
It's been going on. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's not fine. That's terrible. It's not echoing for me, but that's a bad thing. We got to fix that.
Yeah,
well,
Garrett.
I think it's coming from you.
It's probably from you, so that's why.
You
don't have headphones on.
Yeah, just hearing some feedback from that.
Echo.
Am I echoing? Check.
Good. No, it's you.
No, you're not.
You're not. But it's going to echo.
Because sometimes when we're talking, when it gets loud, it's coming over the speakers, I think. But it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's
Not
fine.
all the
It's not-
time.
it's not
I'll be a little quieter. Patrick L.
As long as we just keep
$20 more.
yelling and screaming, would be fine.
Shad, the amazing Kiwi with super manly swords, wrote a.
Hey, no, Gary. Did he just freaking call me a
did.
Kiwi?
Yeah, he called you a Kiwi.
Whoa.
Oh, wait, hey, don't interrupt
You
the super
scummy
chat.
bastard!
Don't
Don't you dare call me a freaking sheep-loving Kiwi!
You're just an emo defeated Australian.
Is that the New
That's all.
Zealanders? Are the New Zealanders Kiwis?
Yep.
Yeah.
Emu.
Okay.
Did I say emo? I meant emu. Same thing.
Ooh,
Wrote a
so
fantasy style
different.
book.
That's like being from New York or New Jersey. It's the same shit.
Shad, the amazing Kiwi with the super manly swords, wrote a fantasy style book called Shadow of the Conqueror, which you might enjoy. I'm currently rereading the book to start my own book review channel. Thank you, Patrick.
Hey, all right, Patrick. You're redeemed for calling me a Kiwi.
Hey, he can call
I
you a
forgive
fucking
you.
Kiwi if he gave you
checking
money
out
for
my
your
novel.
book.
Good on you.
Good on
I
you.
got a whiz.
Go whiz. Yeah.
No, you
That's
turn the
usually
camera
what.
off.
That's
Turn
usually
the
what.
camera off.
That's
I like
that's-
this. I'm gonna start doing this from now on. To be honest.
Yeah.
Just abandoned ship.
Yeah.
Bye. I wonder if he pees a yard away from
Oh
the
no,
toilet.
Chrissy. I was watching him on Anthony Cumia, and yeah, he had to pee like every 10 minutes. He's getting old.
Prostate things happening. Yeah.
That stuff happens.
And
happens.
look, I got nothing against Kiwis. I'm just memeing, okay? But there is this serious rivalry between Australia
Yeah.
and New Zealanders.
Oh yeah.
I never guess
I like 'em
anymore
both,
because
you
people
know.
get upset if I call them the wrong thing.
Wait, so if New Zealanders are Kiwis, what are Australians?
Aussies.
Koalas?
Aussies.
Oh,
Aussies.
Aussies, what? What are Australians?
Is Chrissy blonde? Are you
Asians are
naturally
Aren't
blonde?
the Kiwis the little flightless birds? Aren't they? The little,
Yes.
like-
Oh,
I
They were like the
their
Kiwi is a
mascot.
Wait, kiwi?
A kiwi
It's
is
a fucking fruit.
Is it a bird as
no,
well?
it's a bird. It's a bird.
Yeah.
It's a bird as well.
Yeah.
It's this
It's
little
the
tiny.
only bird that Australians can beat up.
All right, I'll give you that one. But I was going to say, their animal mascot is this little flightless bird. We got friggin' massive Chad kangaroos that will beat the absolute living hell out of you. That's our animal.
Kangaroos are.
So
are
you're
legit
arguing that you're
scary.
better than people in New Zealand because you like better animals than them.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
And the snakes and spiders
And the snakes.
Do they really have sex with sheep?
Oh.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
That's what you said, Shad. I was thinking
I
that was
said-
more.
smoke
I
and spider,
said
and
they
there's a lot of
love
sheep
sheep.
there.
Okay.
I said they love sheep. There's a
How
lot
much
of
would you have to be paid to have
interpretation.
sex with a sheep?
Me?
What did it look like? And is it a male or
Yeah.
female sheep?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it in good
lingerie.
shape or what?
Yeah.
See, the problem with you come up with a number like 100 grand or whatever, but the next time you're having sex, boop, 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 the sheep thing pops into your head and it might ruin sex for the rest of your life.
That's why you got to stay a yard away.
Yeah.
So then you say nothing. And then you hear about some guy that did like $3 billion and he cured world hunger and, you know, radicalized the free market.
Good
and
on him, man.
Killed socialism. And you're like, maybe I should have fucked a sheep. Shit.
I learned that there's lambskin
bad.
condoms.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
for
Yeah,
people that
those
are
are
allergic to
classic.
latex. Personally,
That-
I'm allergic to condoms, so I don't know.
That's what
Those,
you all
those
say.
reek though. The lambskin things reek up the whole room.
That's how they did it in,
Oh,
the,
really?
in the medieval times.
Yeah.
A little lambskin.
What does it smell like? Lamb chops? What do the condoms smell
Wait,
like?
wait, hold on. We're
Sounds like
we're
I don't know.
fucking people in the Middle Ages when they were like raping random women wearing condoms. I don't think so.
Oh, well,
Well, they had regular sex too.
It's true.
Along with the raping and pillaging.
Ryan's like all rape.
Ryan,
100%
Ryan
rape
looks
back
so
then.
confused when you mentioned regular.
What? Not
What's
rape.
this regular
regular rape?
sex
Is
you
that what you
speak
mean?
So when
of?
they were having regular sex, they were wearing fucking lamb leather and
They
and
didn't.
fucking.
It's not leather. It's the
231.
intestines. It's the
It's
intestines.
intestines.
Yeah.
Condoms are
dog.
for fags. What kind of loser wears a condom for crying out loud? You just
Thank
shit
you,
on her
Gavin.
One
face
that
or
has
on her
4
leg
kids
or
and doesn't
on
want
her
to have
knee.
anymore.
What is
You
this,
just
the 80s?
and the people go, well, I don't know if when I'm gonna come. Dude, you were beating off
You
from
know.
before you could come, so you know exactly when
know.
it's coming. You pull out 5 seconds early, spray up the room, and they go, well, what about STDs? They don't stop STDs. They don't go all the way down to the bottom. They move up like a quarter inch. So she's got venereal warts. She's still touching your dick with her venereal warts. You're getting venereal warts, and you should be fucking a higher caliber of woman if you're getting diseases. Like,
That's
raise
true,
the
yeah.
bar a bit, buddy.
Have standards.
Yeah.
And
True.
third, I've had every STD
Same.
on earth, and
What was
They're
your
not-
favorite?
I was gonna
bad.
say you speak from experience,
is the
Gavin.
best?
What's the best?
venereal warts, they just blast them with liquid nitrogen, they're gone. And the other ones, chlamydia, gonorrhea, all that, all you do is you go to the clinic and you go, I had sex with a virgin and she got chlamydia. So they go, okay, we don't have to do the test where we put the Q-tip down your dick. Here's the
Oh.
antibiotics. Now, if you don't
Hey,
have
how would a
chlamydia,
virgin have chlamydia though?
no, she got it from me.
That's how you say, so they don't have to test you. You lie and you say you fucked a virgin and she got
Yes,
it.
correct.
So they don't have to stick a Q-tip down your fucking dick
Right.
hole.
And then they give you the antibiotics. If you're wrong, you don't have chlamydia, all right, you're too antibiotic that week. Big
Yep.
fucking deal.
Yeah.
And then herpes, I got herpes. All right, the sores are pretty bad the first time they come around. The second time is like 6 months later. Yeah, not great. Weeping sores. They feel like someone shot your dick up with a BB gun. But then the next time you get them is like 2 years later.
I'm so
And
glad
then the next
I've
time
only
you
had
get them,
sex
it's
with
4
one
years
woman.
later. And then the next time you get them, it's like 8 years later. And the next thing you know, you're dead.
Nice.
This is
And you know what's
Name
not
There you go.
You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about AIDS because that's a
and
gay person's thing.
informative.
this is such an argument for abstinence before marriage.
Abstinence
Wait.
before marriage. my
Wait,
God.
did you get crabs
yeah.
too then?
No way.
Yeah,
I've never had crabs. That's the only one because I didn't hang out in Florida. But
That's the
we don't
lowest
get
level, isn't it?
crabs in Montreal. Crabs are a Floridian problem.
Because it's moist.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't
Tampa
know.
Bay
The-
strippers. I think
the
they
humidity.
invented them.
I'm allergic to shrimp.
Remember the last American Virgin?
We know you love big cocks, Chrissy. You don't have to keep talking about it every fucking podcast.
I can't stop. Size queens.
West Britannicus for $50. Good evening, Gavin. Sports culture is faux masculinity. Much more is being accomplished, consumed heroic media, balanced with productive activities that inspires people of all ages to consider higher ideals and become better people. There you go. Well, I wouldn't recommend, I think Garrett said it earlier, it can't be the focus of your entire day, your entire life. It's
higher ideals like what? Saving a girl from the train tracks and then fucking stopping a plane from crashing by flying underneath it and being like Superman and going, no, it's not going to crash.
Well, he was
That's
talking
a
about
deal.
You've never done that? Have you never done that?
Zapping spider webs at a bank robber? Is that a higher ideal?
No, we could have
It's the
used
principles behind it.
We
How to
could have
live your
used
life.
that in Ohio recently. There was a
Christ.
lot of train crashes. Oh my god.
There's been like
in principle,
Chrissy.
We shouldn't really value saving women. I agree with that.
I was going to say there's been about 5 or 6 train derailments.
We should have
since
slightly
Ohio.
more complex moral questions than what is provided in comic books.
You haven't read comic books to know. There's great moral questions in comic books, man.
That's what we're arguing
Gary,
for.
Gary
We
could,
should have
would recommend a couple
more
for you to check out.
I could. They
Like,
don't have to be
there-
Superman.
There
Superhero
is better
comic books.
writing in some of the best comic books than the slop that you can find in
Shed.
trade literature.
By the way, I have a massive collection of graphic novels. That was my original career. I wrote autobiographical comic books. It was called Pervert, and it was all true stories. I illustrated myself, won a few awards in Montreal and Ottawa, and I was part of the whole Joe Matt, Chester Brown, Seth scene. In Montreal, it's called Bande Dessinée, and we would go to these comic jams where I'd do a panel, the next guy would do another panel, and I am obviously a big fan of Robert Crumb and all those dudes, but I don't really see that as comic books the way superhero comic books are. I see that
they're
more as
different.
like a page with 9 drawings on it.
Oh, Bond and A are brilliant, by the way. They Western comics, fantasy comics, French comics rule. Absolutely rule.
Right. And it was big in Montreal, but it's that scene like Peter
Bigger in
Bagg
France.
and Dan Clowes. I don't see that as in the same universe as superhero comics. Not even the same genre.
But they
Is that insulting?
Is there a comic book that talks about not jerking off that we could give to Gavin?
There probably is.
What?
I'm not going to search that.
There's
know.
every kind of comic under the sun. So
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, there's comics that are obviously made for younger audiences, but there are comic books that actually deal with some really serious stories and concepts and stuff that are just brilliant.
If comic books didn't have a serious impact on young children's minds and how you can develop into the future, the left would have nothing to do with them. So they
I
clearly
agree.
have a lot to do with how people grow into adulthood and who they
I
ultimately
agree.
become.
Well,
And
look
that's
at
why
what
the
they're-
left is so invested in it. So this is why dismissing them is a massive mistake. And that's what I think the overall
We're
point
not-
is.
we-
Whether
we have
your
cross
individual
signals on that
opinion,
dismissing
yeah,
them
but,
thing.
right,
I'm
but your
saying grown-ups
individual
shouldn't
opinion
read
is
them. I'm
irrelevant.
not saying
is
they're
what
not
I'm saying.
influential. Kids should be reading them, and they should be cool. They shouldn't be like in the New York Post today. The big 2-page story about Gender Queer, this graphic novel that shows you how to shove butt plugs up your ass and get fucked from behind by a guy with one leg. It's really bizarre.
Oh,
And,
is it about Xray
Xray
girls?
girls, yeah, origin story.
Oh.
So I'm obviously against that and worried about it. And yeah, the left is. Here's the thing we were talking about at the beginning of this whole thing, though. The economics confuses me, and like you look at and this is true of all of this leftist economics. It doesn't make any money. Like remember American Sniper? That movie grossed more money. This is in schools, by the way. That book.
Yeah.
It grossed
Holy
more money
crap.
that year than all other movies combined. Yet they still put out woke shit like Ghosted, which no one wants to see. And I guess it's just someone's writing blank checks.
Well, they are
Yeah,
right now. Apple and Amazon are both writing blank checks. They're not making any money off their programming. They're both kind of vanity projects, so they're able to use that for their personal politics and their agenda. and they're trying. They eventually want to make money, and they think this is the path to it. But it won't be. Nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Nobody watches fucking Apple TV.
They thought that they could make money and re-engineer society with their message at the same time, and that's why they targeted nerd culture. That's why they targeted the superheroes. But they all bombed, and only more recently are they starting to wake up as to how toxic and just crap the stuff.
So is the plan, is it sort of like solar energy or wind energy where they go, look, we're going to take a hit at the beginning, but eventually people will love She-Hulk and we'll all go see female action movies.
I don't
Is
think
that
they're
the plan?
taking a hit.
It's-
I think there's people. I think there's people that are funding them, so they don't have to worry about.
Well,
taking
there's
the
people
hit.
funding the big giant freaking not the solar, but the windmills, those giant windmills in California and Texas that do
Texas,
fucking nothing. Yeah, there are people.
Odin.
So it's that's a good analogy. Yeah.
I think there's a mix. I think that there's some people that like have control over the programming that they don't really care about fucking losing money, right? Because they got a budget to do something, they're gonna do it. There's other people, like just business people, that are upset about like little returns, right? They if it gets too bad, they don't want to call something out because they're afraid of being canceled. But if it gets too bad at some point, they're gonna have to try to put their foot down. And then there is some of that investor money that truly is just for ideology.
Even vanity projects that I mean I used to write for this magazine, Tacky Mag, online magazine, Tacky Theodore Acropolis, and he was paying me like $1 a word when it first started, but after a while he was like, dude, this isn't making money, you got to go down to 50 cents a word or something. Like, and he's got like $100 million in the bank, but like rich people, after a while they go, what are we doing here? I'm not doing any more She-Hulks. That just cost me $200 million.
They're finally finding out,
it's
like that's happening.
Process, right?
Yeah.
When something goes from, say these movies are putting out or making an average of like $300 million in profit. Well, if it goes down to $150 million in profit, it's not really panic mode at that point, right? It's like, okay, well, maybe we're making a little less money, but people aren't ringing fire alarms. But once it actually gets in the red, like we've seen from the last year or so of Marvel, that's when these people start to fucking panic. And I think that's the point we're getting to, especially with some of these recent announcements from Iger.
Also, there's the whole thing that Hollywood is disconnected from larger society, larger Western culture and everything like that. Or they're in their bubble that they think all their friends are super on board with the woke narrative. And then they actually start to believe that's what people want. That's what the world is expecting us to make to be popular. And then they also get confused by the vocal minority on Twitter. And they think this is what the world's, standards are shifting towards. And then they've catered towards all those things.
The money. Look, Disney's plummeting. Surely, maybe I have too much faith in the free market. Surely someone at some point goes, all right, stop. In fact, didn't I hear recently that Disney, the new CEO, is saying we got to get less woke? We're losing our fucking shirts here.
No, you didn't.
It's probably like a rumor if that is, but what he did recently say is, hey, we need to look at how much shit's being churned out because right now it's not profitable. He did say that, but that had nothing to do with woke.
Wasn't
Bob Iger's a
well,
woke.
wasn't somebody trying to get in on the board?
With Disney? Well, with Disney, I think a lot of people who are actually in control of a lot of these creative projects are complete ideologues. They would rather get the message out than make money, and the actual accounting kind of we need to make money people are fewer and far
Yeah, that's been the problem. Is in normal times, Gavin, when something sucked, it would get canceled immediately, and now you're seeing
a car.
Yeah. And now things are just going on and on. There's a bad Star Trek show that went on for 5 seasons because they don't want to look bad firing or canceling a show with the black female lead. Like, so it's literally costing them. Identity politics is costing them so much money. They were padded in the very prosperous Trump economy, but then when COVID came along and shut everything down, now we're seeing the consequences. They didn't like, go, hey, this woke shit sucks. They just went, oh, we're losing a bunch of money now. They're running out of money, funding. Yeah, it's gone. It's all gone. And you're going to see a bunch of shit get canceled. Yes,
so,
it is.
It is. I've been saying, surely the chickens have to come home to roost, and you're saying they're coming home to roost now.
Yeah, slowly, yes. But they should have come to roost like years ago.
Years to go. There's still years of this nonsense that we're in store for. So we're at the beginning of the end, but the end is still far away.
I mean, they're still
Some are
making like a
slowly starting to
1619
wake up.
project on
Who's this?
Hulu.
Who's this random bald dude who just popped into the hemisphere?
How's it going?
Oh, this
good
is
sir?
the big star of the show. Just kind of shows up whenever he wants and leaves whenever he wants.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
on
when,
OMB
when my son
Reviews.
goes to sleep, because you know I like spending time with my family before. Yeah.
Odin also doesn't jerk off. So you guys have that in
That's
yeah,
true,
that
yeah.
in common.
Yeah, there you go.
I meant that in a good way.
I'm sure he's taking it in a good
Gavin's
way.
thinking about how do I approach this one? I got a
No,
lot.
I like the way the left, when you talk about not jerking off, the left goes, Proud Boys are told they're not allowed to beat off. And you're like, dude, there's obviously a sense of humor involved in this. It's not like someone has a shock collar on and the second they touch their dick, they get jolted. It's just
they get a warning.
Although
he
that
started
would
it
be
as a joke and then learned everything is better.
That would be funny.
And
that would be funny.
porn is fucking. You don't realize how evil porn is until you stop looking at it. It's sort of like TV. Like you go. This is hard to say to your generation, but Gen X, we used to watch TV all the time, and you'd go like, I don't know, camping or some sort of trip, and you come back and you turn on your TV and you're like, holy shit! I used to watch this fucking garbage. Like even the commercials, they're comically bad. I had no idea the level of garbage I was tolerating. And it's the same with porn. Like I do occasionally check it out. And I saw this porn. These girls were getting face fucked. And there was like, they've gone from having a little bit of spit, like, oh, I dry heaved a bit, to just barf.
Yeah.
Like barf is everywhere. They're both barfing. Like
that is jaded. That is pretty jaded. Ugh.
There was a salad bowl of barf on the ground as far as volume goes. And you're like, we used to make fun of Germany and Japan for this kind of shit.
Germany,
Now it's our
yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like
Yeah.
German porn. Like
Speaking of
we're
beating
German
off,
now. The only thing we don't do is eat the poo poo.
Speaking of beating off, I saw this this guy had a little bit of road rage the other day, and I couldn't help but laugh at the response here.
road, aren't you? Get out of the truck! Out of the truck, little lady!
No, I'm good.
You know you lose.
How do I lose?
Because I will beat your fucking dick into the ground all day long. Beat your dick.
That guy looks like
Even
he could be
he's like,
related
wait a
to
minute.
The second time he said it.
I've made a mistake.
Beat your dick into the ground. Oh, no.
Sammy Hagar just got kicked out of Van Halen and he's pissed off. This is an old video.
We'll beat your dick all day long. Whoa.
Okay.
One more
How do
time.
I lose?
Because I will beat your fucking dick into the ground all day long.
Wow.
That's kind of gay, isn't it? I will beat your dick.
Got him.
That's the you eat
damn,
pieces
you
of
got
shit for breakfast. You know, like, no.
You will ejaculate into the mud by the time I'm done with you, and you will like it. How do you beat a dick into the ground?
Practice.
Hey, Roland the
Oh,
Wretched has donated $100 in 2 parts, and I will not point out that he waxed his balls. He waxed his balls. He admitted to it at Chris's show.
That's how
That is the dumbest thing in the world. That's polishing a turd. No woman sits around with her friends going, look, he's not the funniest guy in the world. He's a little annoying, but his scrotum, wow.
There's nothing like a
I
shorn
cannot get
scrotum.
enough of it. Every time I try to dump him, he sends me a pic of his balls, and I'm like, oh, fuck. One more time.
I'll
Gavin,
give him another
I
chance.
don't know if you know this, but Xray Girl
no,
used
God.
to wax people's balls.
Yep.
She's a
It was
ball
called the
waxer.
sack and crack.
That must be hard.
We
'cause,
went
like,
into this last
if
week.
you're waxing a thing like a thigh is staying there. So when you rip
yes.
the wax off, the thigh's like, bye hair, fuck you. Now, what scrotum is different. If you pull off the
Scrotum goes
whatever,
with it.
the scrotum's coming with you.
Yeah, that's
There's a
that's why
strategy
you
for that,
have,
right?
Stretch it, right?
There's 2 hands, at least one on one side, one on the other, and then one on the strip.
Who
So
gets
is it
the
like a
strip?
Stretch
Like, do you
Armstrong
put the
situation?
wait. So how do you pull the strip if you have both? Do you have it like in your teeth?
Is the strip in your mouth?
Yeah, that's what I was
guy,
like.
you have two technicians. The guy does the bat
the
wing.
guy's hands to
Guy-
hold one
a
side,
guy does
and then
the-
I hold the
a
bottom.
guy
where
does the
strip
what,
is
Ryan?
at,
Laying it out.
And then I'm like,
What does the guy do, Ryan? What say that again?
He fucking does the bat wing.
Oh, the guy holds his bat wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the implication there is that a bag was ugly with the hair on it, and now it's not ugly.
Well,
It's
if
a
you're gonna
fucking
put them
turkey
in your-
neck.
If you're gonna put it in your
It's
mouth,
still a
you
turkey
want,
neck.
like, less
Whether it's got a beard or
Who
not.
cares?
Yeah.
If you're licking a turkey neck, who cares if it's fuzzy or not? It's like, it's still gross.
I think there's several reasons we cover
Makes
it
it
for the
better.
vast majority of our
Yeah.
time during the day.
I'm just.
Well, maybe
like,
you
Yeah,
do.
it's not
Odin.
pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, are you a nudist, Ryan? Are you trying to?
No,
say-
I just let my balls hang out sometimes.
He
That's not
suns
being
his
nudist.
genitals.
You don't stream with your pants off? What?
Oh, that
That's
seems
really
like
why
you'd
we
be in
don't.
trouble.
That's really why we have to turn our cameras off.
Yeah,
None
because
of
we
us
have to
have-
stand up and
Gotta be honest,
adjust
I'm a
the
little annoyed
attitude.
with the Lord in heaven above when it comes to bags. Like the penis, it's not always great. It looks like I'm not circumcised, so it looks like a little elephant's trunk in the morning. But when you have a boner, a dick looks pretty good. Everything else, you can work out and make it look pretty decent. A scrotum is like, it's a wash. I mean, fuck
nothing you can do.
It's just there to get kicked. And
Yeah,
From
pussy
birth to
lips.
grave, it looks gross.
Just there to
It
be
really
empty.
does.
If
It's a
you
slap
have
up, especially
the
when it's
biggest
hot.
pussy lips in North America, okay, that's gross. But that's pretty rare.
There's probably
Most
somebody
pussies are
into that,
pretty
though.
adorable. But a scrotum, like, what the fuck was he thinking?
It's got to hold stuff. It's like a backpack. It's,
well,
it's just
sometimes when it's
functional.
cold,
And it's got like a seam
bottom
going
pack.
down the middle too,
So
and you're like, man.
scientifically, it's supposed to be 2 degrees less than your body
Your body.
temperature. So if it's in your body, your sperm count actually like depletes.
Yeah, I can make that look cool. What's with the fucking hairs too? Oh, that's to warm it up. They're like 3 feet apart every hair. There's no way that's warming anything. It's like hair, an hour drive. Hair, an hour drive. Hair. That's not fuzzy. That's not
Make it
warming
easier to
anything.
wax.
For the Scottish, but for the darker ethnicities, they might have more.
I don't know how
Well,
that works.
what do you mean they might, Chris? Are you saying you don't know?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Come
don't-
on.
I don't
Don't
know.
act like
I
you don't know.
Some of us
Yeah,
made
stop.
a deal with our dads way back when.
When I die
your
and I
dad
go to
didn't-
heaven, the
your
first thing
dad
I'm gonna
didn't
say to
honor that
God is,
deal.
what is with this fucking bag shit? That was kind of mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like an apology.
Yeah. Why do you make it possible for me to sit on them?
I think it's
You
just
know
proof.
what I mean?
Just
Like,
proof he's
that's
got a
a-
sense
that's
of
a
humor.
very-
That's
a
all.
vital part of
seems-
our anatomy just hanging
It
there.
seems rushed. And also, what's with the seam? You know how like you buy a cheap plastic toy, you get one with your Happy Meal, and it has that seam on it because it's
Mhm.
plastic. We have a fucking seam in our bag. Like, what were you not done? What you
Well-
can't
well-
sand that down?
Oh, Odin,
I
clearly
believe
you
that.
have
That's
these
why I
answers,
don't
right? Odin,
advocate
come on.
people leak.
So-
Hold on. That's why I advocate people not stopping jerking off, Gavin, because I have a theory that if you don't come for long enough, your balls will literally bust open at that seam, and I'm deathly afraid of that. So I jerk
Oh
off
my
5 times a day.
Well, that's not true.
And then
so-
people are
5
like,
times a day.
why are there egg whites all over this subway train? And you're like, yeah, I
Oh my
did
God.
actually.
I
That's
listened,
my
I listened
bad.
to a guy who
and I
told me not to jerk
apologize.
off. So,
That's RK Outpost.
Sorry about that.
No, that's gonna be RK outburst.
Back to Rolling the Wretched's super chat. One of two. I want to thank you, Gary, for not outing me last week in front of the panel, and the 15,000 live streamers for watching my junk, for getting my junk waxed. I am sure this will not be a subject of conversation at the meetup in Vegas next month. Nice Hawaiian pizza shirt, too. Oh, yeah, we're totally not going to bring it up every show.
No,
Only
we'd never
47
do
more
that.
days until Vegas, and I will be bearing a gift for Ryan. No, Ryan, it doesn't tick or have a pineapple. The pineapple was tempting, though. Hail Friday Night Tides Fellowship Chat, Baby Thor, by the way, who loves pineapple pizza, PT Pineapple Pizza,
know, he's
and
too young.
Long Live Boomer Gary Gaming. Hell yeah. It'll return this week.
Hey, Gavin, we're going to need to know. Gavin, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I'm not a fan. I live in New York City. It's the pizza mecca of the world, but I don't care what you like. I I don't get it. It's a pizza's savory. Why are we putting sweet on savory? It was my people, the Canadians, that came up with that. But
Says a lot.
it doesn't. I don't get the math. I want my pizza to hurt. Like I want fucking banana peppers. I want jalapenos.
Well, yeah,
I want it
jalapenos.
really spicy.
I put jalapenos on it and buffalo sauce and pineapple, so you get a little sweet and with the fire, with the absolute fire. But I'm down with all the peppers on it. Hell
Hey,
yeah!
real quick, because I know there's been a lot of talk of Vegas, and that is coming up very soon. But Ryan, where are we going to be in a few weeks?
Orlando MegaCon, April 1st on April Fool's Day. It sounds like the perfect day to come and watch us. So Saturday, April 1st, Orlando MegaCon. That'll be fun. Geeks and Gamers panel will be there, and I'm sure we'll do a little bit something after to hang out and talk to you guys. So.
Yeah. So we'll have some plans, and we'll give you guys more details on Tuesday night's main event. But
and I would just like to say, we're doing a show on April 1st. Do not go to their thing and come to our thing in Las Vegas. We will announce the location on the 1st, but it's called the End Racism Tour. Me and Kumia and Josh Denny.
Nice.
So if you have to choose, definitely choose ours.
Definitely choose to end racism. I can't believe you guys are taking the
stunning
stand
and
on
brave.
That is something not one single
I've just
person.
had enough of it. I've had enough of it. It's
Not enough
gotta
people
go.
talk about it.
Yeah.
This year it's
I can
done.
appreciate that.
Hey, racism, I hope you're scared because I'm coming to get your ass.
Woo! Finally, somebody said it. Somebody said it.
Finally.
Holy shit.
Stunning, brave.
Yeah.
I think it was race swapping April or Arpel or Neil. I think that finally did it. It finally ended the racism. Arpel O'Neil. Or April O'Meal, however you want to put it.
April O'Meal.
I like
is
that
more
one. That's a
fun.
good one. I just call her Black Fat April. So
Wait, they make her black too?
Yes,
Yeah,
and
fat.
fat.
Black and fat.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I thought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was over.
Nope.
No, they will
they've
never
had-
let
they've
it
had
go.
a lot of
Not according to
iterations.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen's gonna.
Nothing's over until Hollywood's completely destroyed it. Then it'll be over. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Then-
I
then
didn't
it'll
know
be
this.
white
So they're
people's
doing
fault.
a new Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
And it's Seth Rogen's doing it. And April O'Neil is
O'Neil.
black.
That is
That's April
supposedly
O'Neil
and
now.
fat.
And
Don't
fat,
forget,
yeah.
fat too.
Yeah.
Is it? So is
Yeah,
it?
that's
Is
the
it
part that's
live
more
action? Is it
upsetting.
CGI? Like
Animated.
Cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a cartoon?
Like a CG,
Yeah.
like a CG, like a Pixar movie.
Because
style.
remember that last one they did where they made them look like turtles and they had these weird little heads? It was really disturbing.
Yeah, this
Had
is
lips.
like
It was
this
weird.
is like I can't remember how many different versions of the turtles we've had over the years, but there's been a lot.
The live
I
action
kind of
from the
like
90s
when
is
they're
still the
wearing
best.
suits.
Yeah.
That was the coolest one.
Yeah.
90s,
Yes.
90s one is
1990.
easily.
I love that movie.
Practical effects.
Yeah.
So all of this shit, like making April O'Neil black, it's not like black people are going, finally, I've been waiting for that. Thank you
Let me
so
check
much.
that off my list.
Yeah.
Now I can relax.
Now,
So I don't
watch.
even think black people have ever watched the Ninja Turtles. So it just is a fuck you at this
Yes.
point.
Yes.
It's a virtue signal. It's like, look at how wonderful and non-racist we are. I'm
Yeah,
such a
it's
good
Seth
person.
Rogen doing his part.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
it's also saying you're a racist. Like when I've said this many times, when you put a hate has no home here sign on your lawn, what you're saying to your neighbor is hate is in your house.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm sick of your hateful house. My house is cool. Or when they say the first like Native American astronaut, what they're saying is there was tons of Native American astronauts and you told them to go fuck themselves. Well, they finally got through the barrier. So it's an insult to you because you were holding them back. And when you have April O'Neil as a black person, you're saying you always had to have your white motherfuckers everywhere, didn't you, dickweed? Well, the party's over, asshole.
Yep.
Exactly. But I'm sure April O'Neil being black will, counteract. People won't want reparations anymore after that.
No,
It'll save lives.
I mean,
April and then your show.
Unfortunately
done.
for Gavin, April will end racism before your event.
Yeah.
So you're kind of
Better hurry.
So yeah, you're.
I
kinda
thought Jennifer
fucked,
Lawrence had
so-
already done all of that.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh God! Well, now she's gonna star in that comedy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where she's a
Takes
whore.
Where she sexually assaulted a young boy.
Takes the kid's
Well, I
virginity
mean, that's
for a
to
car.
be fair, that's like every '80s comedy. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he is
He's
18.
very-
He's
But
an
to come
adult.
from
Very
Jennifer Lawrence,
cringy.
who's very outspoken about this stuff, it's like,
Did you not
oh,
see Weird
hypocrisy.
Science?
She's not good in a comedic role.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Well, women aren't funny, Chrissy.
The Last American Virgin, Porky's. I could go on and on.
No, but aren't those in those situations? Those are guys wanting to be able to, get some sexual experience.
What is this? A guy not wanting?
Clearly, this guy is not into it. He's clearly reluctant, and she is full on trying to.
Is he gay?
I don't know, but it just comes off really creepy. Comes off really.
Does it?
creepy
Okay.
Does he eat the poo poo?
Does he eat the poo poo?
His parents hire Jennifer Lawrence to basically date their son because he's a big fucking loser, and he's he's going into college and he's just a fucking loser. So she's like, bring it out of him.
He's like a fan of this show.
not just date him. They're very subtle but very clear.
Yes, have sex with him.
Have sex with him. Yeah, she's a whore, basically.
Yeah, it's just a whore. It's like Weird Science, but more prostitution-y.
Yeah. And less
great.
making
And not
your
as
old...
good as Weird Science.
No.
I'm sure it won't have a good theme song.
Weird Science was weird because back then, especially when I grew up, the girls that you lusted or were told to lust were in their 30s. Like Raquel Welch, when I was young,
women
was old as shit. Bo Derek, even Olivia Newton-John in Grease, she was 30. The Weird Science chick, that was Seagal's wife. She was like 38, and we all had boners for her. The chick in the Divinals. Every time I think of you, I touch myself.
She was in her 40s.
She was in her 30s.
Fucking, you're hot,
Princess
fucking
Leia.
Yeah, like
maybe she was actually in her late 20s, but there were all these 30-year-olds, and now you're lusting like fucking 17-year-old, 18-year-olds, or even if they are, 20-something like Ariana Grande, they laid the horny work for her when she was a child.
Yep.
Horny work.
Which is disgusting.
Which is weird. Yeah.
I those countdowns from.
I prefer the 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds, the women, the grown adults. Yes.
I think it was funny back then because it wasn't expected that the kids would actually have sex with their teachers. But now we found out that
that's actually happening regularly.
So
yeah.
I guess
if I would have found that out in high school, we would have fucking high-fived the dude probably.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But back then, I guess it was who the casting agent found sexy. He didn't really give a shit what you losers thought. And you're like, okay,
well, it changes.
I guess I like 34-year-olds now, even though I'm 13.
I guess so.
Elon Musk just tweeted free Jacob Chansley.
Oh, wow.
So, hell yeah.
So there was a
what about Biggs?
I saw an article about what his lawyer said, basically that they were never provided, prosecution never provided them some of the video evidence that is now coming out. Now, whether they didn't know about it or whether they just specifically didn't provide it.
I'm sure there's plausible deniability.
Or they did provide it, and it was in a mess of 41,000 other hours of footage that they would have never had any, enough time to sift through.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Chrissy. That no one can go through 40,000 hours, especially when a lawyer's getting $400 an hour. Or if he's doing it for free, his time is worth $400 an hour. The only way you could possibly parse that kind of data is to give it to the public and have them go through it all. Then you start
4chan would have that figured out in a couple of days.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Get the
in an autistic minute. Yeah. Just autism and coffee. We could get through it.
Yep. God bless autism and coffee. Caboose Mobile for $50. He's an ale Friday Night Tie. It's been a while since my last chat. Thanks for coming back. Saving for a house down payment. Good. American dream shit.
Right on.
Wanted to send some support, and I'd like to shout out my LGS. It's near the Northridge. It's near Northridge, Massachusetts, MA area. Check out great stories, cards, comics, figures, board games, you name it. And it's called, what's it called again?
LGS.
LGS.
Shout out my local game store. So that's the LGS.
Oh, okay.
What's it called though?
I don't think
you gotta tell me the name.
There. Oh, great.
Oh, it's just called Great Stories. Okay, Great Stories. Go check out Great Stories in Northridge, Massachusetts. Go check it out.
Nice.
I've been noticing more and more of those old game store, like the trading company stores will trade DVDs and old games.
Dude, they're all
closing around here.
They're what?
They're all
what
closing.
Is Gavin doing?
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Shit's doing great here. Like we've got collectible stores and mom and pops. Yeah.
Man, I've said this 1,000 times about like at this point in time, I can get any collectible I want on Amazon or what. I don't buy them though. I still want to go to stores and be just surprised. Like,
the
oh my
hunts,
God,
man.
there's a version 2 Storm Shadow or there's a Sergeant Slaughter. Like buying them online makes it so easy and it takes the thrill out of it. So I think we're gonna see more of those stores continue to pop up in different places.
There's a
because I
great one
always
here
see
in
people
San
on them.
Antonio. Jeremy, when you eventually come out to visit me, I'll take you to that store near me.
I was going a very different direction.
Just come out of the closet,
Eventually,
Jeremy.
you come out of the closet.
I'll beat
We'll go
your
to a
dick
store.
in the ground.
Oh man, I was too slow on that. Hang on.
Too slow on that.
I was too slow on my clip. All right.
Dang.
You know, I've got a producer and an engineer, and
I still
I don't
haven't
know
figured
what's
out
in
the
your
buttons.
range.
yeah, now I don't want to do it.
It's too long. It's
Might
too
be
long.
too late. Might
No,
be too
just
late.
keep it
Hold
on
it.
it.
Just hold it.
Get off your fucking. I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
Tobey Maguire's what?
Dick.
Dick.
His dick. Oh, he did. Okay, so that's a guy named John Campia, and he got the first picture of all the 3 Spider-Man together in No Way Home, and he deciphered that it was real and not a fake by going over the dick shadows in the costumes. He's like, that's a legitimate dick shadow right there. That's not a
He's all
CG
forensic
dick
about
shadow, but it was a CG dick shadow. It was just a well done CG dick shadow, and that's how he deciphered that they were real.
Nice life.
He's an expert, though. So
He's an expert.
you know.
He combed over it. He combed over
Sounds
it.
like
He
my kind of
hunted.
superhero, Dick Shadow.
Probably inspected a lot of them. You know?
Dick Shadow.
Up close.
Dick Shadow.
Sounds like a
The
villain.
Dick Shadow knows.
Yeah.
It's Dick Tracy's arch enemy.
Dick Shadow.
He's got a big nose. Like,
Bradley Burnett has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100. Thank you, Bradley. Bless you. Brendel Vivat, Xray girl, Vivat.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty stupid sometimes, so
Vivat.
I gotta double check. Gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100. Gracias. WG has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. WG's a badass, an actual badass in real life.
Yes, WG is awesome.
Yep. Then we have Flagrant Triggers, makers of the Make Marvel Mail Again shirt that makes people so happy. The $30 says the market has spoken, backed by popular demand and woke hatred. We're making Marvel Mail again. The shirt is back with no pre-orders as everything is automated now. New print method for crazy durability and high quality design, definition, color too. All hail.
Yes, get the blue one. It is back. So
Buy the
Thank
shirt
God.
that will get the people who accuse you of being homophobes to call you gay. It will. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. And you know, Chrissie was rocking one the other day. That was
Oh
good.
yeah, Cam
yeah.
sent me one.
Oh my God.
Jim with the arm.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
That's the guy with the
Like-
giant testicle.
That's me one day.
It looks like Randy from South Park when
oh yeah, you gotta get a wheelbarrow.
Buffalo Soldier.
That's a big sack.
Wax takes
Oh my
5
God, that
hands
would
to
take
stretch my
years.
sack.
How in the hell am I supposed to say
whole
this?
team.
I can try. Uxgalik?
Uxgalik on the Streamlabs side for $658.43. Holy shit.
I do, Scarlet.
Here's my
Sounds like a
lumps.
Saudi prince.
It kind of does. Or an orc. I'm not sure. Here's my lump sum support to the FNT crew. Been lurking for over 2 years. Keep up the good fight. My deepest condolences to Shad for living under Chairman Dan's People's Republic of Victoria. We Queenslanders gladly accept all your escapees. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, Dictator Dan is a complete beast. Can't afford him. But the problem is, Victoria is, in my opinion, the most beautiful part of Australia. I love the countryside here, but the government is crap.
Yeah, California is beautiful in some parts, and it sucks.
Same
Absolutely
with Canada.
Sucks. Yeah.
Wow.
Canada's fucking cold. I wouldn't go. That's fucking cold up there.
It's hot in the summer.
Yeah, but like 6 months of the year, you're fucking snowed in too.
But there's the majestic.
Where are you,
moose.
Xray? In Canada?
Yeah, I'm in Canada, Toronto area.
Oh. Yeah, it doesn't get that cold. Toronto
People
is off the
only
Great
want-
Lakes. Toronto is off the Great Lakes, so it's like New York. It doesn't really, you don't get like covered in snow the way you do in the rest of Canada.
Well, I live near the belt, the snow belt, and it gets pretty bad sometimes. And if you know the highways, Highway 400, it is the worst 400 series highway. Gets closed a lot.
So you're like in the
So-
Buffalo, New York of Toronto.
Is it like Canadian Autobahn?
The Canadian
Yes.
Autobahn? What? You're not allowed to drive as fast as the Autobahn, but you know.
You're not allowed to
Well,
do shit there.
You're not
Can
allowed
I
to
know?
drive.
Can I interrupt the entire show and know everyone's like family situation? So
Yes, do it. Yes.
So Nerdrotic, you got a wife and 2 kids.
Yes, I have a wife, 2 kids, and 3 dogs.
I don't care about your dogs.
I know you don't, but I do.
And geek guy here, what are you rocking?
Married with a kid.
1 kid?
Yep.
How old are you?
I am 44. I just turned 44 yesterday.
34. And then Kiwi guy.
Oh, how dare you!
He's got 97. He's
dude. Married with 5 kids. My wife.
5?
5 kids. My wife is the first girl I ever kissed. I'm a happily married Mormon.
Oh my god!
Do you swear on your mother's life you're not lying about the 5 kids?
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see
yeah, no, 5 kids. I'm a Mormon. What do you expect?
Wow, that's crazy. Can you show us one?
Yeah, go in the back and
Hey,
wrestle
all
it
right,
out.
I'll be back. I'll get my smallest. As cute as it is.
Yeah, get your baby.
He's gonna grab a child.
Oh my god!
And then quarter black guy, what are you rocking?
I've
got
got
a lot of
wife
kids,
and
too.
4 kids. Not a
4
Mormon.
kids?
I just like to
Yes.
fuck. And
Everyone has kids except
yeah, same. My wife is the first woman I ever had sex with, so I didn't get any of those venereal diseases.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great. And then this guy
Nice.
ran away, I guess.
Ryan.
RK
Oh, yeah.
Outpost.
Ryan.
Ryan has
He's big as-
Ryan has
he's big as
kids.
nose.
Ryan has family
kids.
kids.
What does he got?
He's got 3.
That's cool. And he's
The
married,
male
obviously.
culture.
And then what about the Xray chick?
Recently married.
And how old are you?
33 this year.
Are you going to have babies with him?
he always does this.
And what about you, Chrissy? You're about to get married in June.
No, thinking like October.
What? I thought you just talked about a wedding invitation. Am I
What?
blowing up someone's spot here? Is that bad?
Wait,
No.
Is that October?
October.
Okay, October.
Yeah.
And then the new bald guy. Wait.
So
other way.
34, 34 married and have 1 kid, but special announcement, we have 1 now on the way.
Whoa! There you go.
Well, there we go. Who's that guy?
Oh, look at this little guy.
This is my little guy.
Baby.
How old is that guy?
2 years old.
What's up,
that's-
buddy?
That's age.
Going strong.
Hey, you want to say hello?
Right on.
He's like, he's all like weird degenerates to me. There you go. Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I love
He does not look surprised to be holding that
What's
either.
up,
He's
buddy?
like, he's like, I'm used to this.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's so
He's
cute.
so adorable.
This is too
Oh,
I
jeez.
love his little face. Oh.
Very serious.
You're cute. Are you cute?
Oh my god.
He's like, I have a sword for me.
I shall attack you.
How old is
Okay,
he,
I
like,
believe you.
2 or 3?
Bye, buddy.
Hi.
He's just too busy looking at himself. He's all, I am pretty
This is
cute.
screen dad.
Yeah. You're damn right.
Just want to eat some Cheerios.
So that's great. I'm impressed. You all have your shit together.
See?
Yeah, so the people talking about how important superheroes are got their shit together, Gavin.
Yeah, I want to convey that I'm not into guys that are into superheroes when they're adults, but that's like me not being into smoking. It's a habit that's not my cup of tea. But as far as your who you really are and having a family and having kids, that's what really matters. And I'm impressed that everyone has their shit together. It's not indicative
I
of
wouldn't
my
go that far, but
circle of friends.
maybe we appear to, but that's about it. So.
And mine's together as much as it's ever going to get together. I mean, this is as good as it's going to get.
Most of the Gen Xers I know, I grew up with, I'd say 50% are unmarried and childless. They fucked up.
How fucking disappointing is our generation, Gavin? It's pathetic what the Gen Xers turned into.
I think we're traumatized by divorce. I think we saw our parents fuck up. And by the way, my parents are still together and my wife's parents are still together. But for the most part, they saw their parents get divorced. And, everyone underestimates what divorce does to a child. They always, whenever they talk about it, they're like, I got to go jet skiing and I was free. And when my wife has the kids, I get to do this and that. And I'm like, that sounds great for you, dude. But these poor bastards, they get shuttled from the mom's house to the dad's house back and forth. And the kids were watching Stand By Me the other night. And that cohesive little gang they have where they go to see a dead body. You don't get that kind of a crew together when one of the kids is gone 50% of the weeks. Now, I know a couple where, usually it's every second weekend and every Wednesday, but sometimes these couples do 50-50. And 50-50 is great for the parents. They get a nice break, but these kids have two homes. So they don't really establish traditions with the other kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because you go, oh, is Joey going to be there? No, Joey's with his dad this weekend. You hear that 30 times and you go, all right, I'm not asking if Joey's around. We're going on this little trip to go see a dead body by the train tracks. If Joey's there, fine, but he's not part of the gang.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher and I hear it all the time where it's like, oh, I'm at my dad's tonight, I'm at my mom's tonight. And the rules are different and you can kind of just already see it. Even if they're putting on a brave face, you can see that it's eating away at them more than they realize.
I think sometimes it depends on when it happens too.
Yeah.
My parents split up when I was 5. And ironically, the group of friends, the hardcore group of friends that I had that I would go out and do stuff, that was more so where I spent less of my time. It just happened that neighborhood was perfect. There was a bunch of kids around the same age. You know what I mean? That it worked out that way. Whereas at the other place, it wasn't necessarily like that. So,
And when did you spend more time, at the shitty place or at the fun place?
Oh, the shitty place. Because it was my mom's. There just wasn't as many people close. But I mean, the group of friends that I had, every other weekend stuff. It was awesome. I'm sure they did shit without me. It's not like they fucking sat there and jerked off when I wasn't there. But
what kind of loser can't last 4 years with a marriage?
4 years. Well,
you said 5. I'm sure it was going to shit at 4.
Well, I think they were married for a while before that, but I don't know. You'd have to ask my parents that, not me. But
it's every time I see a divorced couple where it's like a baby or it was one, I'm like, what the fuck happened? You weren't getting enough blowjobs? Oh, I'm sorry, that didn't work out. People move to shitholes like China for work. And they suffer there for 2 years because they got posted there or whatever. Then they come back. You can suffer for a couple years. I'm sorry things are not all peaches and cream when there's a fucking baby screaming and crying in the middle of the night. You're piecing out, you fucking pussy?
Oh, yeah. There's a low commitment, I think, is our problem as a society.
Well, because a lot of it's based on just emotion, and emotions change.
I want to be happy.
If you make
a
decision based purely on emotion, it's just asking for. I mean, we've lost the aspect of we're making a choice, and that the words that we say should actually mean something. Even if you're not having a religious ceremony, you still say very similar words, right? Until death do us part, right? Through rich or through poor, and people don't often mean the words that they actually say, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I've been divorced, but it was before we had kids.
Somebody's
but
lying.
even I hope my ex-wife's not listening, but like at the wedding, there was questions. I had I was not entirely convinced, but I felt like that's what I needed to do. I'm gonna go through it when I should have just said, nah, we should just date.
Oh, so you've been divorced?
I've been divorced, but before I had kids. So yes, I have been divorced. Yeah,
that's like, who cares?
It's just
it's when it's kids.
Really
that
expensive breakup.
I'm so annoyed by people who get divorced with
Not
kids.
every
Now,
situation can be
I guess
perfect.
when like the kids are off to college and you're just sick of each other, sort of. But like, what are you so sick of? You did it for 20 years. Why can't you just relax?
Rock it for the rest of your life.
So you're criticizing people that do it after 4 or 5, but then after they do it for 20, and then they're like, all right, the kids are off, and you're like, well, that's wrong too. So it's like sometimes shit don't work.
Sometimes shit doesn't work out.
So
yeah.
and sometimes it's worse to stay together if you're miserable.
What does that mean? Shit
So
don't work. I don't
Sometimes there's a bad
understand.
partner. Sometimes there's a bad connection. That's just
Well,
reality.
why did you have
People do
babies
grow.
then
So-
with that bad partner?
So, well, I can't speak for people that have been. I'm just saying.
I know,
though,
I
in
understand.
general.
When I
So,
say
yeah.
you,
So-
it's very loose
Right.
here. I mean,
I think-
one.
Right.
I
Right.
think
So,
a huge
but-
part of it is that people, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be with someone forever, for X amount of years, get married, have kids. And then, a lot of, at least women that I know, people just want to get married to have a wedding, not to be in the marriage. And I think that is completely
that's a
wrong.
They like
massive
the idea
like-
of it. Yeah,
like,
when the kids are
I've never heard
introduced,
that before.
dynamics change. I mean, absolutely, they
Yes.
change, and that's where you find out how much it's like going. If you could travel with your partner for a very long time, if you could be in a car for 16 hours with your wife and you only fight kind of once, that's pretty fucking good. So sometimes people rush into kids without doing that traveling, finding out how strong is this relationship really?
Becoming friends.
Yeah,
big thing, right?
But
Picking a
the
good
issues,
spouse, I think,
the
is
issue
the
begins
point
with
that-
dating culture as well, because
Exactly.
dating at the moment is just finding someone to have sex with, when the actual proper purpose of dating is to find the person you want to marry.
Yep.
And
Amen.
I was raised with that culture because, like I said, I'm religious, Mormon, everything. Dating, it's to find the girl you want to marry. And it was so easy to pick up on if the girl that I went on a date with wasn't marriaging material for me. And I was like, first date, you're not the one, next. You're not the one, next. So much so that I knew what I was looking for, that when I met my wife, I knew her for 2 months. We dated for 2 weeks, and then I proposed, and we were married 2 months later, and we've been happy ever since. Because you need to know what you're looking for. You need to go in with the actual intention of finding a wife, and if you make that decision properly, all right, like actually weigh up who's this individual, not if she's just fun in the sack. Who is this person? Do you want to spend the rest of your life with? That will. I'm not saying it'll work all the time, but it'll work a lot more than just, oh, she's cute, let's have sex, and now I'm in a relationship, and sure, we'll get married because that's what you do.
Now I have a baby with this person. Now I'm married with this person. And
I know this sounds irreligious, but isn't it good to live with someone for 6 months before you propose? I always said, if you can live with her for 6 months and not have a drop down, drag out fight with like broken windows, then this is the one.
See, I don't have that experience, but you spend time with them. The thing is, like I said, I didn't actually spend heaps of time with my wife. I knew her for 2 months, dated for 2 weeks, proposed, because she had everything that I was looking for. And we, of course, had the connection and everything. And I recognized those qualities as soon as I met her. And I'm not saying everyone do it the way that I did, because I think you have to know they're the right one. And if it's going to take time to figure that out, take the time. For me, it didn't take that time. And then I was like, well, I know I'm going to propose anyway, so why delay the inevitable? Because I love this woman. And so,
wouldn't it be funny if the next time you guys do this show, he's divorced and he's like, look, mate, things change, people are fluid. Just fell out of love. It just happens,
Change.
If I do, you can roast me to death, but it's not going to happen. I've been happily married 12, 13 years now.
I think another problem is people are looking for this perfect soulmate that you lust unconditionally. You love her from her baby toe to her fucking left earlobe. So there's nothing wrong with her at all. And we totally riff on Marvel and Batman. and we totally like the same music. And if I come up with an observation, she goes, "That's so true. You nailed it." And that's you get that from your friends. So don't expect this partner to be this like twin sister. It's not going to happen, and it's good that it doesn't happen. You know, you got to celebrate those differences, and sometimes you're just roommates. Sometimes she gets on your nerves, or you get on her nerves, and that's just the way it is.
My wife and I we're really different. We like different things, and she always thought it was a negative. She was like, "We don't like any of the same things," but I always thought it was a positive because then we could talk about the different things that we like. We discuss them.
We keep each other
that
grounded.
all the things she likes are really stupid, and she could say the same thing about me. But we're very different. She's very analytical. I'm very laid back. So we have the different sides of our personalities to run the house. So I think that's the way you should kind of like be.
Yeah, my wife's so liberal. She hates Trump. She's a vegan who voted for Hillary Clinton.
Well, she's pretty based up. But that's the bottom level of her beliefs match up with mine, and that's what matters. Not this extra stuff on the outside. Not the, like you said, like not somebody that's just good at sex and that's it. Somebody that you can get together with and connect with over time and learn each other and teach each other things. That's what it's really about. It's not about the body. It's about the mind, really.
Yeah, complementary to each other.
Sorry.
I think a lot of people, they get divorced because it's sort of fashionable. I think it's contagious. I think their friend got divorced. It's like suicide and divorce are both contagious.
Yeah.
Someone else does it and it gets in your head and you start thinking about it. But I remember being a kid in 1980. I was 10 years old. And it just happened like a tsunami overnight. Everyone was getting divorced. And their dads would stay at my house. They'd sleep on the couch. The couch always had a weird man smell. I remember being a kid being like tobacco and urine and beer. Like men in the 70s, everyone was wearing polyester. Everyone fucking reeked, dude. They smoked. They had BO. They didn't wear deodorant. Like everyone was really pungent back when I was a kid.
Yeah, it is true.
And they would sleep on their couch and reek it up. And then you know what they would always do though? They would always marry a woman that was exactly like the one they just divorced.
Yep.
Like the trope, the Hollywood trope is like, oh man, they love you till you show your age, and then they want to trade you in for a younger model. But that's not what I saw. I saw a guy who was dated to like a busty brunette. And then it wasn't working out, whatever the fuck that means. And then the new girl was another busty brunette. Like they looked like fucking twins. And the kids are the ones who had to deal with this guy's whims.
Yeah, I mean, whether the divorce works out or not, the kids, like you said earlier, they hear the conversations. They hear, "Well, I'm going skiing this weekend. I'm going away this weekend." It's going to affect them. I mean, you got to think about that. But sometimes, I guess the relationship is just so freaking bad. It's that, or it could be something that's worse, be in an abusive relationship, which
but why'd you make a baby with her? Like Louis C.K., the defense with him is like, oh, she went nuts. And it's like, no, she was always nuts. Why did you come in her?
Well, I mean, it's like
we're not exactly known for our judgment all the time.
Why did you do anything?
Yeah.
You told him not to jerk
Get
off.
addicted to meth.
You told him not to jerk off, Gavin. So maybe we would have less of this if you'd let people jerk off. How about that?
Yeah, that's it. It's pure luck. I didn't have kids before my marriage. Just absolute pure luck.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet there. What's she up to these days?
The ex.
Yeah, selling hot dogs in
I have
Baltimore.
no idea. I haven't spoken a word to her in 20 years. So we shook hands. We had the nicest. We didn't even have lawyers. We had mediation. We just shook hands, wished each other luck, and that was it.
Well, were you doing a lot of drugs when you?
No. I was sober. We met in AA. So all we had in common was AA. We didn't have she didn't like comic books or anything I was into. And she didn't like to do anything. She was very bookish, liked to read a lot. I like to read too, but that's not a great thing to do together with your wife. Yeah,
sitting silently.
We shouldn't have gotten married. We were like better friends at the time. We just shouldn't have gotten married. I was young and dumb, as opposed to being old and dumb now.
I know a dude. He married this Puerto Rican chick, and he was a huge drug addict at the time. And then he got clean because he was like ruining his life, and not wasted. He was like, I don't like this person. And I think when you're dating someone, there's all this chemical interaction going on, and there's pheromones and whatever. And there's hundreds of thousands of years of evolution going, this person is trying to kill you. This person really likes you and be a good partner for you. There's all kinds of chemicals happening. But when you're taking drugs, you're fucking up all these chemical messages you're getting, and you end up with someone who's not good for you. And then when the drugs go away, and sometimes, by the way, the drugs are birth control. When the drugs go away, you're like, what the fuck have I done? This isn't for me.
Well, that's why in a lot of, particularly opiates, it says it right there in the bottle, will affect your judgment. They affect your judgment. And if that's a warning label from the freaking drug companies, it's got to be 1,000 times worse. And it is, by the way. It does.
You know what else affects judgment? Alcohol as well.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Alcohol is just more you.
I don't know what you're talking about. What?
Yeah. You're not different.
It affected, my judgment.
If you want to find one of the causes that leads to very bad hookups and unwanted pregnancies,
dude, alcohol and meth convinced me it was a good idea
Shad's
Dude,
right.
if there was no alcohol,
Shad's right.
would have been born.
Okay,
Thank God for alcohol.
Alcohol and meth convinced me it was a good idea to break into houses. Okay, like
no, that was meth. That was meth that did that.
Meth and alcohol.
Hey, Xray, why did you take so long to get married? You seem pretty attractive.
Pretty attractive. Wow.
You seem that way.
Well, I
You have no
couldn't-
legs?
I know I have like.
No, she's
my
very
husband
tall.
has one.
She's a nugget.
Husband has one.
I was engaged before, and then I realized that I didn't want to marry him, and took some time to figure out what I actually wanted in a
Whoa, that
relationship.
sounds juicy. So,
Yeah.
how long were you dating him for?
I think we were together altogether 4 or 5 years.
What ages?
We dated at 23, and he was
Okay.
25 at the time.
Should have Gavin on Poor Choices.
Wow. And
think
what was he like? White guy? Kind of was he nerdy? What was his deal?
White guy, liked music, guitarist, and
A musician.
he was very
He's good with his hands.
Fingers in particular.
Guitarist.
Yeah.
I feel weird talking about my ex with my husband.
Why'd you ask Mark into the room?
the one that sucks.
And we can talk about your ex in front of Mark.
Band that was touring?
No.
Okay, so more of a hobbyist.
Yeah, he was a nice guy overall, but I think a lot of the stuff that we kind of clashed on was how he viewed the relationship versus how I viewed, and he had a lot of disrespect for me when I didn't notice it back in when we first started dating, and then finally
What kind of
realizing that.
disrespect?
Well, he had a lot of girlfriends, and I found out a little later that he, did things that I didn't know about.
It's called cheating. Did you just learn English?
Yes.
He had some girlfriends, and
English is my third language, technically.
sometimes he would be wrestling with his girlfriends, and his penis would slip into their vagina holes.
Yeah, he said he fell down and it ended up in there. So
Then you got mad at the girl, and you're like, "Why are you lying on your back with your legs spread when people are running around with boners who could trip?" So then
anybody
you
could
said
fly
you're
up
a
in there.
cheater and you're an asshole, which sounds accurate. And then you said, "I'm not doing this." And then you
Yeah.
met a new guy a few years later, and now you got him.
Mhm.
And
That's
he's
like
awesome.
10 years later, though.
no, we met when I was 2019. So
When you were 2019.
no, we met in 2019.
And how old were you then?
29.
Oh, okay. So it took you like 4 years to recover from that.
Well, she's Asian, so she went to
Well, not
school. She went to
recover.
school and
I
studied a
was
lot and
dating
lived under a
before
rock
that,
and never
but it was a
watched a
lot more
single
choosy.
movie. And then when she got out from under the rock in school, she decided.
Can I help the panel out here?
So she went to school.
Can I help the panel out here? The less you say when he asks you a question, the less follow-up he can add on. So when he asks me, I'm going to say, it's none of your damn business, and I don't tell the internet my personal life. So that's how you handle it. Stop giving him more answers so that he can follow up with more questions.
I don't
He's
know.
Really
Isn't it interesting? I like to hear about people's love
He's
lives.
really good at this.
Gossip. And it makes you smarter too. That's the beauty of nonfiction. You hear this stuff and it makes you more prepared for the world. Whereas fiction is someone else's imagination. And you're not really better off after hearing someone else's imagination. They could be recovering from some sort of trauma or something. Now I know true stories.
Yes.
But sometimes fiction can contain great truths that are harder to,
Yeah, well, they got those great truths from truth.
That is
Well,
that's correct.
sometimes it's great truths, but with more attractive people. So it's
Yeah,
more appealing to watch.
like mythology. It's our modern mythology.
And there's superpowers.
Horror Amarada for $50. Oh, I almost hit the wrong button. Horror. Sorry. $50. If adults aren't involved and interested in these things, then who is going to create the stories for the next generation? Are kids supposed to only have what is available now forever? Hail to those creators making the stories for the future generations, including Sheep City. Sheep. Gio Brando for $49.99. That's proper money, by the way. It's British pounds. Pounds. The whole
Is
point.
it proper money anymore? Isn't the British pound like $1.01?
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, it used to be like what, $1.50, $1.40.
Oh, I remember when I was a kid, it was $2.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I was a kid, it was a pound of silver.
Yeah.
When I
Can
was
you imagine that's how it started, right? A pound of fucking silver.
When I was a kid, it was animal pelts and arrowheads.
Wow.
You are that old, yes.
Why would you make a fucking currency based off the like exchanging a pound of silver? Like if you're gonna say $1, a pound, you'd think it'd be enough to buy like a candy bar or something.
Yeah, a pound of silver is probably like, how much is a car? It's probably like 3 pounds of silver. That's a pound of silver is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
How are you doing minor transactions? How are we going to get that down to threepence? Isn't it also funny how the Brits are like, how much do you weigh? Well, I'm about 7 stone, but I hope to get down to 5 stone by the new year. And you're like, what stone?
I only know that from an AC/DC song.
I don't think there's anything on earth that has more variety than a stone.
Yes.
Yeah. You're like, oh, well, we just decided that's a 17-pound fucking rock. Something like that.
Very precise.
A grain of sand is a very tiny stone, and Mount Rushmore is a big, big stone. So what do you weigh?
And a whole lot of rosies somewhere in the middle. That's all.
Whole lot of roses!
Dio Brando for $49.99. The whole point of fiction is that you change some things, but the rest of it is true to life. JPB talks about that there are so many works of fiction that tackle complex themes. The works of Tolkien bring together many complex themes to complex for kids. There you go.
That's cool that you got 13-year-olds sending in messages. How do they send money, though?
How do they?
Dad's credit card.
They steal their divorced parents' credit cards.
Yeah.
Well, I'm calling the IRS because you're due for an audit, my friend.
I've been through a couple of those already. Yeah.
Christy, where did you go for an hour and a half? Are you taking the world's longest
It
shit?
wasn't an hour and a half. What was it, 15 minutes?
Girls don't poo.
I thought girls don't poo.
Yeah.
No.
I thought bubblegum comes out of there once a month.
Just anime sounds come out like. Oh my god.
It is true though. Like you put your finger up a girl's ass until your finger hurts. You smell it. It smells like Irish Spring. You put your finger
Irish Spring.
anywhere below the back of my belt, and it comes out like someone used Roto-Rooter to see what was blocking the drain.
I would imagine
It's
that.
just like your thigh.
Just a bunch of hair comes out.
If you touch my lower back, you have to get your hand disinfected because it is it's an oven mitt of shit. But a woman, you can put your whole head in her asshole and come out more handsome than when you went in.
I've seen that video. Yeah.
That's how I got this gorgeous. I kept ass fucking women with my head.
Oh my god.
No, that's using your head.
That's a different
one more
type of
time.
giving head.
How you doing, Odin?
Gavin said multiple times they're magical creatures. So
They are.
yeah.
Pope Francis has donated $100.
Wow, that's good timing.
Dominus Summonus, whatever you say. That. Thank you. I was told you were all evil and to pray for your souls, especially Gavin and Ryan. But after watching you tonight, you know what? You motherfuckers are all right. God bless and amen.
Thanks, Pope F. Appreciate it. Thank you.
TM Devo for $50. Gavin, respect. Wanted to know that as a retired 27-year retired fast attack submarine Mustang weapons specialist, that is a mouthful.
Wow.
Can't you acronym that or something?
Well, you
These
tend to get a mouthful if you're on a sub.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
Hey, joke.
That's true. You would know.
Oh my god.
Holy
Wait, what happened? Did you
Look,
fart?
Alex wasn't here.
Farted into the microphone.
And we've solved the Roto-Rooter finger question right there.
There it is.
It all
There
makes
is.
sense now.
God, it reeks in here.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Sorry, what's the question?
The question again.
Why did this show happen? That's the question.
We ask that every week, though, to be fair. TM Devo for $50 says, Gavin, respect, wanted you to know that as a, I got to say this quiet, or say this slowly, not quietly, as a retired 27-year retired fast attack submarine Mustang weapons specialist, these FNT guys give me hope for the future. Also, Ryan, you should have been a bubblehead.
There you go. No, I didn't have to go down on subs. Stayed on carriers. So.
And there it is.
Wait, that was a fake one, right?
Yeah, it was fake.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
fake.
okay, that was fake.
That was a Minecraft one. It was a
just
Minecraft.
Pathetic.
It's just a Gavin gimmick.
Yeah, that's funny. He had that made just for that specific bit.
And my engineer is gone, so he can't trim that at all.
Holy
Quarter
shit.
Black, what is your purpose?
Quarter Black,
What'd I
where
miss?
the fuck did you?
Oh, what'd you miss?
What did you?
Where did you go?
No, it's just a joke from Gavin. You're just fucking. around.
Yeah, he does that on every stream. The stream and live stream.
Oh man. So what about that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
April O'Neil.
Yeah, April is fat and Black's got dreads. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
Rumble exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. Friday Night Tights Rumble exclusive.
Yeah, that will be a Rumble exclusive. That might even not make Rumble exclusive.
Who knows?
Oh no, Rumble! I'm testing you. I am testing you. That's gonna be the. You're gonna have to cut that out, Garrett, even if it's a joke.
Don't worry, I got the timestamp
got the
for you.
time.
It
What
looks.
happened?
Actually, I was like, all
very,
right.
It looks very lifelike, even though it's a fake.
Yep. That I don't think.
I mean, they got a lot
YouTubers
of
gonna
fucking
care.
sex toys and shit like that that looks real.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, there is
Yeah.
like sticking shit up your ass all the time. That's not demonetized on this.
That's true.
So we're all trans here. By the way, we're all trans, so we should
Yeah.
be okay.
Spacey's law in effect.
Yep,
We're all
we're all trans. Jay,
This is going to be a Friday Night Tights long discussed.
I mean, it wasn't that long.
what did you
so
think
it-
was gonna happen? I mean, like, I told my wife
why
today.
am I in the middle
I told
of
my wife today. I'm like, I'm fired up for today. She's all, really? I'm like, yeah. It feels like we're doing something wrong. She's all, you are doing something wrong. I'm like, no, we're not. We're not doing this. No, we're not. Let's do it.
And
Jay, Hey, where's Comix Division, by the way?
He's not able to make it. He's having some fucking computer issues.
Yeah.
He can't reach
it won't turn on.
He can't reach it. He can't reach the button.
It started off as that, and then it wouldn't boot. And so
J Dog and Lincoln for $50. Hail Friday Night Tights got back from Star Trek, the Star Trek cruise. Oh, wow. Met Doug Jones, and he likes to hug. He's a very touchy-feely guy, but he's actually really cool. Doug Jones is a very cool person. QBG, care to explain the Robo Cop Inspector Gadget meme? Yeah, I need you to explain that.
All right.
Hang on. Glad Gavin is alive.
I don't know.
Thought the feds Gestapo might have killed you. My bulldog pup loves the ladies and the bottom. I don't know if I needed to finish that, but thank you very much. Okay, explain your meme.
So I was watching the movie last night with my kids, and I realized while I was watching it, it is the same movie as RoboCop. Okay, so he's a guy, he's a regular cop, and he's out there on his beat. He gets killed by a villain. The technology people take him, turn him into a robotized version of a cop. He's an extra man. He could do all these different things. He has different stuff coming out of him. Giggity. And then he takes down the bad guy in the end. I mean, it's the same movie. Same movie.
Okay.
Same movie.
That makes no sense.
No sense. That is all the same things.
That makes no
he's
fucking
a robo
sense.
man. He's a cop. Same movie.
Is he brutally murdered in the beginning?
Yes. His car is exploded.
His car's exploded, but he's not like shot to death and his corpse,
obviously it's not the exact
his corpse
same movie.
violated.
The execution is different, but the underlining kind of,
The story thread is the same.
Okay. You sure you're sober?
Makes sense.
Okay. No. Okay.
I also think we had an answer to the question of, does alcohol affect your judgment?
Never
I was
had
sober
one.
when I made
so
that
this is
decision.
why. Well, as I've said, people ask me why I never drink. It's like drink, and I was like, but I don't like anything having any impact on me and how I think or my actions or my behavior. It doesn't mean you can't. It doesn't mean I judge you for it. I have no desire for it whatsoever in any capacity. Never. Amen. It'll never happen. It ain't no fucking amen. I don't do it for religious reasons.
I do.
I'm just
me too. So I'm just saying amen.
I'm just messing with you.
Well, I do it for both. No, because you're right, Jeremy. It's actually mind-altering drug.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen people abuse it over the years. I saw tons of friends, family. It never seemed like wise. What's the point? What is the end game of the behavior? What is it? What does it get you? And usually everybody wakes up miserable, regretful, don't remember most of it. And I'm like, I don't understand how that's a decision I would ever make. Like, I don't know why I would do it, but other people do. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that really depends on, I guess, like who you're watching do that. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
generally speaking, it doesn't actually, nothing positive comes. You only hear about all the fucking horrors, the lives lost, the people getting in fights, people have regrets, people do stupid shit. Like, you never hear about someone go, yeah, when the day that my life changed,
yeah, we went out last night, we had a blast.
Yeah.
You never hear that.
No, that's an isolated thing, but you never hear about a story that like a life-changing moment for the positive through alcohol, unless it was a negative experience. It was never a positive experience with alcohol that led you to more alcohol that changed your life. It's always like, yeah, I got drunk and fucked the tranny one night and didn't realize it, so I never drank again. Like, that's usually the.
We're not telling the Mike.
Leave Az alone. Come on.
It's like the Green Ranger story. All right.
I'm just saying, there's never usually positive life-changing stories that comes from it. That's all I'm saying. It's usually regrets.
I was so excited to have this song on the soundboard. That and this. I'm gonna get tired using that, but
That's
maybe
really
not.
funny. I don't think you will ever.
I wasn't expecting that one when you used it.
Yeah, I had no idea what he was talking about when he's like, "Can't wait to use this sound."
I know. So I was so excited. I took the time. I'm like, oh god. but
People.
that's my favorite.
People.
That actually sounds like her.
It does.
White
It
people.
actually does.
It sounds like your voice. It sounds more like you than you do when you do it.
Wait, it's not her. I thought it was.
No,
It's on TikTok.
it's some
Oh.
yeah, it's some retard on TikTok. So,
Yeah.
but you don't
You know
even
what,
know.
this
Like,
is
is she okay? I'm assuming the retard on TikTok is being serious, right?
Oh, I think she's being
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's oof.
Sheep Cityan for $50. Sheep. What up, my German chocolates? People like Hassan are the reason I draw and write. I don't want my future squiddings learning how to be retarded socialists. They have stories that teach them morals and about being better people. Bring on the Iron Egg. Hell!
Oh yeah.
Fully problematic for $50. I'm not a big fish like K-Biz and others, but I paid off my Challenger Blue Thunder. So here's a little cheddar for FNT.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
What year?
Yeah, what year? I've always wanted a Hellcat, but I can't justify paying $75,000 for a
Pretty rough.
fucking Dodge. I worked for them. And Hellcats are really nice, but they're still a Dodge. Also, happy 60th birthday to Jeremy, the elder statesman of FNT. Yes, happy birthday, Jeremy. Same birthday as my wife, by the way.
Yeah. International Women's Day.
There you go. Keep on, keep it on.
Jeremy's
you old
parents and your
bastard.
wife's parents were fucking at the same time.
Wow.
Yep. Pretty
Just
much.
A couple of years apart. Just a couple of years.
Never.
Actually, my wife's way younger. I'm not supposed to.
Did I bring this up already?
Who goes there?
I just thought it was relevant.
Yes. Wow. We've come full circle.
Yeah. Full circle.
We have. Oh,
I mean,
thank
the
you.
first problem was when he said, yeah, I like that guy.
Thanks, son. I may have to look for a job.
No. There is no defense of one Jack Murphy in any capacity.
They do have a lot in common.
I couldn't go to
So,
commercial
a
because
lot.
Garrett was gone.
Adjacent.
I just
One
told my
was
wife
in.
I might have to look for a job. That's all.
The other one was probably.
Oh boy.
Hey, Elon.
Hey.
Hey, Elon, can I have my job back? The one I rage quit. Mark of Reality for $50. Okay, you guys have covered everything from venereal diseases to ball waxing. Disney might hire you guys as consultants for the next animated children's movie.
That's true.
No green
It's funny
rocks for
because it's
$50.
probably
Hail to the Fellowship, the Legion of Memers, and hail Flagrant Triggers. Cam, who recently set up a new merch store for the Legion of Memers. Oh, that's exciting. There's even an awesome commercial up on the LOMY2
Legion of Memers.
Legion of Me. Yeah. I wouldn't have figured that out. Thank you. No, for seriously, I was like, LOM? What's fucking LOM? Oh, I got it. Hail FNT, the best part of the week. Hope you enjoyed our final show, ladies and gentlemen.
That's one way to give a send off to YouTube.
It may have been a little shorter than you expected, but hey.
Oh my god.
Just as short as that.
Dude, that just hit me right now. I was like doing something.
Talk about it. Irish goodbye.
Yeah. Our ex-firm, $49.99 says, I grew up with my mom and dad together, but saw them faking the funk for us kids. That affects kids just like a split family home. Sometimes things happen to where it's better for all not to be together, even when there are kids. Let's move on. I agree with that.
Thank you, too.
Yummy! I miss pizza.
Yeah. That's the most disgusting thing I've seen on this stream.
It's the most beautiful thing.
And that
I've
is
seen.
saying quite a bit with tonight's stream.
By far.
Oh my gosh.
If anything's gonna get us kicked off YouTube, it's what
Pineapple
Gary
pizza.
just said.
Pineapple pizza.
Oh,
jalapenos.
Not more.
Yeah,
Not
some
more.
Beautiful.
All right. Like,
What you?
so all right,
you're
let's
pizza.
talk about something, I guess. Gary just no topic, no anything, just gonna start shoving right in pizza.
It's like
Highly organized.
highly organized.
I can play something.
All you motherfuckers eat on this live stream. I take 2 fucking bites.
I don't eat on this live stream. I don't eat on this
I haven't
live
been
stream.
eating on it for.
Ryan does.
You need to bring it back, Odin.
Yeah, as does.
Once that's over, it'll
Odin
be back.
does.
Yeah.
I don't often.
Another bite.
But you can drink this on stream.
Oh boy.
God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet shit. What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Grind Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all 3. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
You didn't want to be on this show.
Who?
What?
We just did an ad. All right.
Well.
No urine involved.
Yeah, we
This
should have done an
coffee is
ad
delicious
earlier.
coffee brewed just for you.
Yep. Craig Fragente?
Fragile.
Gente?
Fragente?
Fragente.
Fragente for $49.99. Gavin.
That's a better accent than what the Mario is having.
Let's go.
You mean the $1 billion film?
You mean it's making a lot of money, but not $1 billion.
This will be in one of your future, and I just can't wait, dude.
It's 100% in Odin's future.
I'm living.
And it's going to be in yours, but you know what? The
I
audience
win.
is going to be happy either way.
Well, Craig says Gavin FNT best guest ever. There you go. Most memorable.
Hey, we saved the best for last.
No, like I really like how he does like stream of consciousness. You know.
That's fine. That's what
Yeah,
most of my
stream.
live streams
Yeah,
are.
it's
But
certainly a stream, and
but
it is a
there
live
was a
stream.
stream. I don't know if it was conscious or unconscious to
Stream on stream.
stream on stream.
That was a stream I never expected.
We do know he was lying about it always being hard now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, there we go. Hang on. What? Garrett.
Flick too hard, damn it!
There it is.
Can we talk about Seth Rogen's comments about
Yes.
critics? About
Yeah,
negative
we
critic
can.
Reviews? Because you have Seth Rogen, this dude who, when people talk about getting their cars broken into in LA, he's like, man, you just got to brush it off and deal with it. That's part of it. But then what does Seth Rogen say about when people give movies negative reviews? It's a life-altering experience. It really hurts, man. Some people never get over it. What a coincidence that he talks about that on the same day that the trailer for his new Ninja Turtles featuring Fat Black April drops, because he doesn't want anyone to say anything bad. Very, very interesting to me.
What was it? Variety came out with that.
He said that.
article?
I
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He talked about how, man, I really think if they knew how people, if these critics knew how it affected the people they were talking about, they would be more careful with their words. Shit like that.
Well, I mean, again, it's the same guy who remember what he said about people having their vehicles broken into. You know what I mean? And how basically to deal with it, it's not a big deal. Seth Rogen is completely out of touch with reality, and these guys they'll shift whatever way the wind blows for them to play the fake victim again. So,
Yeah, but do we care if we hurt his feelings at all? I mean, I don't.
No.
No. If we knew how people work hard, but like you're in fucking Hollywood making pretend. Okay, you're putting pixels together. You're not going to a fucking salt mine. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you ever.
When you make
Also-
art, you expect criticism. That
Yeah,
is part-
and
it's a critique.
when they serve up a turd, I don't care how long you worked on it. If it's still a turd, I'm not going to just say, oh, great. No, it's crap.
You expect it. You expect it.
well, I mean, it's just like put good stuff out, And
Well,
you
could
won't
do
have to worry about that.
Seth
you
can't
know?
do that. Seth can't do that. He doesn't have the ability.
Well, but
to
he
do that.
did. But the reality is Seth Rogen, at one point in time, was a relatively funny guy. He was a decent comedian who people liked. He was in some good movies, and then he got the woke mind virus. And
He really does. He really
yeah.
does, because I just was watching a clip of him this morning where he's going off about how he doesn't have kids, and he and his wife are so happy they didn't have kids because the planet doesn't need any more kids, and we're over. I'm like, okay, this guy is 100% in service of all woke narratives.
Well, yeah, that's why I think it's important to refer to the wokeness as the woke mind virus, because it is a disease. It truly is. It is it's something that's taken over so many people's minds, and they've infected their minds in so much bullshit now. Ultimately, Seth Rogen, if you make good shit, or at least put effort into it, instead of just putting political bullshit out there, then the criticism will probably be a little more leveraged towards the actual story and not just the bullshit that you're spewing on screen. Not that complicated, but
It's
of
really
course,
not.
when you have the woke mind virus, though, it doesn't matter.
And just from like the literal sense, if you're not allowed to say anything negative, then positive reviews mean nothing. Like if you want to establish that you can't say something bad because it might hurt our feelings, then saying something good, it's not valid. It doesn't mean anything. Awards, like none of that shit means anything if you're not allowed to actually criticize something.
Well, it's like this, like I've said about when you say that there's certain groups of people that you can't make fun of, then you're actually putting a target on them to be made fun of. And so and the reality of it is being made fun of is part of it being accepted. That's part of it. No matter what time period you're talking about, like being made fun of in a playful manner has always been part of it. So to kind of shift it over to this, so when you as a person that makes art, when you put a signal out that you can't make fun of me or you can't criticize me, well, number one of two things are going to happen. People are just going to start praising you completely just for the sake of it, which is meaningless, or they're going to just make fun of you even more. We're just going to make it funnier. So it's not going to have a good effect either way. So again, nonsense from Seth Rogen. Dude is completely out of touch with reality. He has been for a long time. He continues to prove that over and over again.
What was this interview for? Was it
what
for
led to it?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
It was a podcast appearance that I think happened to coincide with the release of in the first trailer for everything with Ninja Turtles.
Right, and this is the same song and dance we've seen every time. This is about setting up for what is going to get. You're going to get massive criticism on something, so you're already building the victim narrative. That is getting ahead of stuff like that. We've seen it with Star Wars, with Lucasfilm, with Marvel. Every time they know something is about to happen, racism starts being put out there. Shout out to Reva, by the way, and her failed lightsaber campaign. And shout out to all the losers. Shout out to all the losers that are clipping a very good point that I made, only proving me right.
What was that about?
On Twitter.
I only saw I didn't see what you were saying. Sorry, but I saw it go by on Twitter.
It was my response to Angry Joe, and then someone was like, "Well, what about didn't you get mad that there was a black woman in Star Wars?" And I'm like, "No, I got mad because there was a bad character in Star Wars," and then Lucasfilm turned it into racism. We remember that when Obi-Wan or Ewan McGregor came out and did that super mega viral video calling out the racist fans that got tens of millions of views, and how we all stand with what's her name, Moses Ingram, And guess what? You brought out a lightsaber campaign with Hasbro while G.I. Joe was getting their project funded in less than 24 hours. You couldn't even get yours funded in the entire run. It failed massively because no one actually cared about the character, and all the people on Twitter that continue to, talk about that character, they didn't support her financially because they don't actually care, because social justice weirdos don't actually spend their money on shit. They just sit on Twitter with their pronouns in their bio and they talk about how everyone's racist for having valid criticism on an objectively bad character on an objectively bad show. And she was inserted into that show for what? So they could say, we have a black girl in the show, and if you criticize her, you're racist.
Even if they're real. That's assuming that they're even real. Like there are some that absolutely are, and it's really sad. And then there's the others where it's most likely like bots or fake accounts.
Did anyone actually see a legitimately, truly racist, criticism against her? Because they were trying to conflate, criticizing that she was a diversity hire is racist and stuff like that. Did anyone actually attack her for the color of her skin?
There were three Instagram DMs that they showed, one of which you could probably consider like racist, but they did use the soft AN word, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows who it was?
Yeah, we don't know what's on the other side of it.
The main, most vocal criticisms against Reva was because it was a dog crap character.
It was a
Like, I
character.
did not see any-
Okay, as a writer, Shad, it was a character that didn't need to be in the story at all. And if she was in the story, like a minor character, they put the through line of the goddamn story through Reva because they felt like this is notes from producers. I'm not making this shit up. It's like, well, we have a white protagonist. We need to balance them out with some women and some people of color. These are notes that are coming in from not just from Disney, from everybody. This is part of the DEI that's going on, or the DIE, however you want to put it. That's racism, by the way. It's like, well, we need to put a black person next to the white person. I mean, think about how that sounds, but that's what they're fucking doing. And instead of writing a legitimate character, by the way, didn't they rip this off from a video game or something, Ryan, or another story? It's very similar.
It is a bastardized kind of plot point from the Jedi Fallen Order video game. Like,
Well,
there's a little bit of that in there.
Yeah, here's the big gotcha that they clipped me on right here. I'm sharing my screen right now. This is the big gotcha, guys. This is caught in 4K, Jeremy.
Where's the
4K?
Where were you being held hostage in this video, by the way?
So here's what I'm caught in 4K, guys.
That's 240.
This is no.
Listen
to what they've exposed.
That's 360p right there.
Lord knows, I hope that I don't play this in front of 15,000 people on Friday Night Tights, because holy, this is terrible. Let's listen to what I say.
Reva's character was completely 100% irrelevant. There's no reason for her to exist in any capacity whatsoever other than to push identity politics. But yet, the actress that played Reva got to go on the entire marketing tour with Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, even though her character literally has no reason to exist.
And that's it. That's me caught in 4K.
You're saying that a black person has no reason to exist. How
Wait a minute.
dare you?
How am I
Jeremy,
going to recover?
Jeremy, I got questions. Jeremy, was there somebody asleep in the room?
Huh?
Yeah, he was in a hotel, clearly.
Well, so I do videos in hotels. I don't give a fuck. I will project.
Yeah, well, you understand why the connections I have and why I'm having to mind my business in the hotels. So, so it was it was 4 o'clock in the morning, right after Obi-Wan Kenobi, premiered. So yeah, so I was being a
so
little
nobody wants to hear somebody going, Reva's like,
that'd be me.
Got a couple 100,000 views, so I was okay with it.
Nice.
But ultimately, the point was that I need better haters, because these people are fucking retarded. Jesus Christ.
144p.
It's so bad.
Especially when they say it's in 4K. It's like, it's one thing for them to think that what you said is bad, but then
I don't record in 4K. Okay.
Do you understand what caught in 4K is?
Yes, I know what it is.
I'm not talking to you.
It's a meme. Yes, it's a meme.
I'm not talking to you, Jeremy.
Oh yeah.
Any criticism against a black character now is racist. It's insane. These people have lost the plot. But that's why Disney goes out of their way to grab those characters, because Reva is just the perfect example of using them as a shield. Like they literally preempted her to say, you're gonna get racist backlash, and because the show was dog crap, they just try and deflect it. It's like, oh, here's Reva, you're taking it.
Well, speaking of black and brown people being used as shields in Disney properties, you guys hear the latest gossip about Captain Marvel 2? I mean, the Marvels, and how Brie Larson was a nightmare behind the scenes, and she's really upset that they had to bring in all these other characters when she was the one who got cast as Captain Marvel, that her name should be in the title. You guys hear about that?
No, I haven't.
I have, but let's talk about it.
All right, let me pull up an article.
The fact that she might be a nightmare, dealing with her in person, that's not a surprise at all.
She got pissed when it wasn't Captain Marvel 2. There's no way. There's no world she didn't get pissed. No, every actor would get pissed. They would start like everybody else gets a 2 next to their title except for me.
And I made $1 billion.
And I made $1 billion and stuff. Oh my God. Yeah.
Maybe don't be an insufferable cow that everyone hates, and then maybe you'll get your next movie because
again, that's another thing. Like her agent or somebody talked to her, and that's why they started the whole YouTube thing.
Yeah,
it was just a
exactly.
coincidence. She started to end up in commercials and being all charming and funny, and then showing her messed up.
It was so fake though.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
You can do that one. That's fine.
She looks mad there.
Is Captain Marvel 2 in trouble? New rumor points to sequel's problems.
Well, Captain Marvel 2 doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's the Marvels.
Yeah, it's not. It's
or
a
as
bad
Yellow
movie.
Flash calls it, the Marvel, which I kind of like.
The Marvel.
Yeah.
The Marvel.
Go all the way
Marvel
down to
movie.
go all the way down to the next. Yeah, right here.
This one.
There you go.
Smug.
Captain Marvel 2 rumor points to issues on sequel. No.
Yeah, this is coming
Just
from
a
Jeff
shit
Snyder.
show.
Yeah, this is coming from Jeff Snyder, something that he said on his podcast.
Kind of a chaos.
So there you go. So Snyder noted that this troubled development was the cause of the recent delay from July 28th to November 10th. That shift already marked the movie's second delay, really the third or fourth delay if we're actually being serious, because they previously swapped release dates. He went on to share the apparent troubles with Captain Marvel actress Brie Larson, noting the star was upset that this movie is called The Marvels, a title designed to elude the team up between Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau, as opposed to Captain Marvel 2. And
Thank you very much.
Posing an issue specifically with an actress, which I don't know if the rap actually gets into that. I'll read from a different article I have pulled up here. All right. On that night's episode, Schneider said he'd heard that star Brie Larson has not been the easiest to work with. The word nightmare was used and has clashed with co-star Tiana Paris. Schneider suggested there's been diva-like behavior behind the scenes, including not being happy with the title, because it should have been Captain Marvel 2.
Wow.
And apparently Mahershala Ali is having similar issues behind the scenes. And with everything that's going on with Blade, the fact that that entire project has been scrapped, you combine that with the news that Bob Iger came out and said, yeah, you know, we're thinking there might be a little too much content coming out for people. We need you to back off on that a little bit. I think like what we were talking about earlier in the stream when we talked about like the diminishing returns and finally things starting to be in the red and that causing change. I think we have hit a mark here with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The failure of Ant-Man is undeniable at this point. The media has been able to blame a lot of things on COVID, on, diminishing box office because of that. The fact that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is now looking to not even match the first Ant-Man movie nor the sequel this many years later with this high ticket prices.
And maybe not even get to 500 million.
Yikes, man.
Yeah, like this is going to lose a shit ton of money for them.
I think I know why she was a nightmare on set. She was just walking around with no shoes on.
Man.
That was worse than we saw earlier. Ugh.
Oh, those toes.
Look at that toe,
It's little piggy on the floor. This little piggy went to market.
Are we in a competition to try and make the grossest things on stream so far?
I think we really pushed it.
Don't you bring out that Vegemite. Don't you dare.
I'll go get it. Vegemite is amazing. Hey, did anyone see the second episode of Mandalorian?
No.
Nope. Hadn't seen the
Yes.
first. Won't watch the second.
I watched
it actually
Fuck
got
Disney Star
interesting.
Wars.
It got interesting at the end.
No, it
Fuck
didn't.
Disney
So
Star Wars.
incompetent. It's like the whole episode is him getting saved, and I was like,
But he got to see, okay, spoilers. He got to see the animal. He got to see like
He
the
was
animal of
unconscious,
the Mandalorian animal. What's it
Yeah,
called?
but he was unconscious.
Mythosaur.
He was getting saved, and only she
it
saw
was in the
it.
water. It was like, bah.
Okay, no. I was out when R5D4 pops up. It's like, Dave fucking Filoni comes out and says, well, you're not going to see Gina Carano because it's a big universe and everything, but he's totally going to run into
now it's a big
R5D4 and fucking fuck this shit. I was like done. It was so fucking
look,
stupid.
Another useless episode, and like that.
Picard
they did
season
a good
3
job.
is better than Mandalorian season 3 by a fucking light year, by parsecs. It is much better. Watch that.
So
House
they did a
Hunters is
good
better
job
than
of
that.
making him pretty incompetent in season 2, and even I tried to defend him somewhat in season 2. It's just this is just insane. In this episode, he's just getting saved constantly by a better Mandalorian
Or Baby Yoda.
Or Baby Yoda. It's just
Doesn't he send Baby Yoda back to fucking save him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they send Baby Yoda back in the ship by himself with
Yeah.
the other baby, and yeah.
The entire time that Baby Yoda's gone to, go get
So Star Wars is
Lady
reduced-
Mandalorian, nothing happens. Like, he's captured, and we find out the guy just wants to drain his blood, but the robot thing decides not to do anything for the entire
I'm gonna
time.
I'm gonna steal something from your boy Zach. Star Wars is exclusively made for childless wine aunts now. So they can go, ooh, look at the Baby Yoda saving it. Like, fuck.
I can get a Funko Pop of that guy. Look at little
The
baby.
I didn't know that R5D4 popped up until you guys just said that.
Yeah,
I
fucking
checked out on the shelf.
R5D4 just Randall in this giant fucking galaxy. They run into R5D4. Who's next? 21B? Are they gonna go grab 21B too? FX7. Get FX7 on the way. Fuck it.
What planet were they on?
Planet.
So they were. He appears on Tatooine because there's only one mechanic in all the galaxy.
And there's
that's,
only one planet in all the galaxy, apparently, and it's Tatooine.
Yeah, the Mythosaur. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I said that, the Mythosaur.
It was cool.
You weren't
I thought
listening.
it looked cool.
Oh, the
I'm trying to
production
think,
values
does that even
are
make
good,
sense
but
in the
it's just-
timeline?
There's my
Or-
example, ladies and
This is
gentlemen.
years
That's who the
Oh my
Mandalorian
God,
is made for.
I don't even like wine that much.
Sorry, truly aunts.
Okay.
Yeah, how
but hey,
about a truly stepmom? I'll take that.
but Gary, I'm up to date on Picard, episode 4.
Yeah.
Like season 3, episode 4. Holy crap.
That was amazing.
That show has no business being that good.
Yep.
Damn it. That episode 4.
That whole conversation in the bar, and then when Shaw comes in, and
Dude. Like genuinely good writing.
Yeah.
Perfect uses of setups and payoffs. Everything lines up and comes together at a neat little wrap. And they answer the problem using clever logic that they already set up and foreshadowed, and they had problems to try and achieve. But one thing I loved about episode 4 was that they really got to demonstrate kind of the difference between the Enterprise crew and perhaps your run-of-the-mill Federation people, where if we do things by the exact book, you're probably going to die. But then you have these really talented, smart, experienced, people that all doing their thing, that in combination makes them.
that's supposed to be the Federation. That's why it's not communist. It's like the best of the best. There's still meritocracy in that world, which makes the story that much more tragic.
I love
that Shaw tells at the end. And wait till next episode, dude. Next episode's 10 out of 10.
Serious.
Yep. 10
All right,
out
hey,
of fucking 10.
I got to bounce. I got 2 streams up tonight, so I got to get ready for that. Sure, we're gonna talk
Whatever.
about this Friday night type. Hey, fuck you. Fuck the Mandalorian. I'm spending time streaming. Y'all are watching the Mandalorian. Fuck that show.
I only watched like 10
fuck
minutes,
that
bro.
show.
Yeah.
Fuck that show.
Yeah,
fuck
fuck that
Disney.
show.
Fuck that show for fucking ever. I will never, ever, ever watch Mandalorian, period, again. Fuck
I'm
'em.
out.
I am so done with Disney Star Wars. I can't even roast it. It's that bad.
Well, I heard, Chris Gore talk about it later, and I'm like, oh, I didn't miss anything. That's good.
Yeah, fuck them. And they're leaving the door open for Cara Dune. They can go fuck themselves even more for even mentioning her name. Fuck you, motherfuckers, for even mentioning her. You don't deserve to even mention that character. That's how I feel about Disney Star Wars. But with that said, I got to go. I got Cobra Cast tonight. I got another stream after that tonight. And I got something else I can't announce that I'm doing tonight to talk with someone offline that I might have on Tuesday night's main event very soon. But we will see. And no, it's not Gavin McInnes. You guys have a great night. I'll talk to you later. Hi, everyone.
Bye, Jeremy.
Later.
That's a potential shill of the year right there. Find out Sunday.
Oh, I don't know. Should I be in competition now? I've been called a shill. I have been called a
It's
shill.
too late. You can't be nominated.
For liking Star Trek, even though I'm blocked by the entire fucking franchise on Twitter.
I like well-written stories. Chill.
Hey! If we're talking about shilling things, because there's been delays on the particular graphic novel, there is a silver lining that I was able to wrangle, and I've been able to do a second chance campaign on the Shadow the Conqueror Enemies of Self graphic novel on Kickstarter this time. And so everyone who missed out on their chance to get a copy can now secure one. While we finalize things with the printers, and we are finally getting close to finalizing now. We're getting dates structured in for the print, but it means people can grab a copy if you haven't been able to get one, and that's including the collector covers and the leather bound. It's available over on Kickstarter. How is that shill?
That is a good shill. When do the books start shipping? Do you have any idea? I know you addressed some of it.
That was pretty good.
So one of the things that we're getting a move on now is the signed tip-in pages.
Yeah.
And that's why there's no signed copies on this campaign, because they're already a set number. And so, because they need to be shipped out to me for me to sign, then shipped to Mike so he can sign the graphic novel ones and back. And we've got to do that before printing. So that's one of the things that's going to cause the delay. The other thing that's, well, there was like a full management restructure with our printer that just caused a really frustrating delay. And that was not our fault. And the reason why it was frustrating, we closed the first campaign early to secure a price on paper, and then they screwed up, delayed things. We missed that boat. And if it wasn't for that, the campaign would still probably be open. And so that kind of screwed us over. But it is what it is. Silver lining now. There's a second chance campaign up. But the other thing that as well, we've been making sure we're going to make these leather bounds as best quality as we can. And so sent me the samples for the foil colors that we're going to be using. Like that also took a while because of the postage and stuff. But it's going to have gold foil on it as well, with emboss and deboss effects on top of it. And we were thinking of doing that kind of silver outline for Dalen. We've gone with a better option. It's actually a full color print on leather. Okay, so that's difficult to wrangle, but that silhouette of Dalen is going to be full color now, and it looks friggin' awesome. It looks
Can't wait. God, it looks
Shopping
sexy.
at this point. Which one do I want?
Looks sexy.
I didn't get the hardcover. I want to get the hardcover now.
There's lots of options. So, and by the way, we're past halfway on second volume as well. Mike and I have just been going crazy on working on everything, both with the fulfillment, but also second volume. It's like 126 pages. It's a huge book, and we're past halfway on the art. So that's awesome.
Awesome.
Really
Thank you,
cool.
Shad.
Making new stories.
We got a couple more to read, then we're going to get out of here. Hey, Steven voiceover, props for fucking getting retweeted.
Yes.
By
That's so
by-
cool. That's so
by-
great. That
Elon, buddy. So proud of you. Thanks for playing the meme earlier, guys. Love y'all. We love you too, brother. We love you too.
Great job, man.
Corey Bieber for $49.99. Wow. Here's a couple of bucks to help you guys get back on your feet after this mess. Listen, we were just slow on the uptick of playing a commercial or dumping it. That's all it was. That's all it was. I mean, it's not like we didn't think it would happen. Okay, but
I did tell you. I was like,
yeah,
that was
but
a
you,
little
but
hard to
then you
wrangle.
took off when he did it. You were gone. The guy who was supposed to do like he waited. He waited till you were gone.
Shepard left us.
My bad.
Yeah. So it was.
I was so confused when I came back. I was like, "What did I like?"
Yeah. By the way, you're not leaving again. Your ass is in that chair for an entire stream from now on.
Do not leave.
or pass the baton to Xray girl. Okay, I was just reading the chat. Hey, we're gonna wrap it up. By the way, announcement. I want you to put this in the chat too, Garrett. Put this in the chat for anybody who's watching this a little behind. We are gonna have to private this. So, for obvious reasons, because we can edit it out, but it takes fucking anywhere from 2 to 24 hours on YouTube. So I can't risk that. So we're gonna private this. When we edit it out, we will re-upload it on Nerdrotic Live. So it'll be like the old days. It'll be like the old days. So put that in the chat for people who are currently watching behind, because the stream will end abruptly for them and they're gonna wonder what the hell's going on. Usually we like with Nooners and stuff, I unlist it, but this one's going private.
Yeah.
And it's already out. Like,
This one's
I
going
don't care if it's out there in the world. I just
People are
don't
gonna
need it
think
to
it's
be
real.
here right now. The fact that we're hang on, let me double check. This that
Okay,
would be
those Wizenators look very real when they're that far
So
away.
yeah, Chrissy, you said that Frank rewatched it. It looks like it was.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what I
Yeah,
think it is.
and there are like Wizinator demos all over YouTube. I guess it's a popular.
That's fine. Just a
product.
little heads up maybe because I don't fuck around on this channel.
Oh, a heads
I
up
just
would have
don't.
been would have been good. Very good.
Yeah, heads down in
Hey,
the
we're
zipper, heads
monetized,
down in the
baby.
zipper.
We are monetized
That
right
is-
now. I shit you not.
I am shocked.
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah, sorry, my channel. I don't fuck around, but that's the way it goes. But I thank Gavin for being here. I know Gavin. I know Gavin is capable of this stuff, and I knew it could happen, and it did. And, that's very That's Gavin. Can't blame Gavin for being Gavin, and we love Gavin, and he can come back. Just a little heads up about the Wizinator next time, too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, right. So let's go around the horn. Oh, what?
Go ahead.
What? Go on, Ryan.
Well, I was just going to say, I think that this stream was a good opportunity to speak to people who maybe don't quite have as good of an understanding of how important entertainment is in the culture war.
I thought we had a
and how
very good
important-
conversation about
and how important like all of you guys watching are, and how big the audience is, and how much it matters. So I think it was a good opportunity to speak to somebody very directly about that.
Yeah, if you are a conservative nerd, which for there are many, the reason your side is losing all the fucking time is because they ignored you. They ignored culture, they ignored you, and they ignored the importance of video games, comic books, movies, and it shouldn't matter. And like Gavin said, like, I think it's for kids, but I still think it's important. There is, but there has to be a certain amount of respect. People can feel respect. By the way, that falls for libertarians, anarchists, people in the center, classic liberals. We're all like lumped into this giant, narrative by an abandoned institution that is incredibly powerful. You know, that stupid pop singer that has the top 10 that's a fucking moron. Your kids are listening to him. There's kids listening to them. There's kids listening to stupid fucking comic artists who have to have 15 roommates and 19 cats, but somehow they think they're prominent. They're listening to these people, right?
TikTok.
Fucking TikTok. So yeah, there has to be a dissenting voice, and there has to be people who take seriously, and there has to be people here who know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to culture. You don't hear me breaking down the fucking politics of the Ukraine because I wouldn't know shit, and I wouldn't begin to start talking about it. But I think it was a good conversation to have, and that's why I was looking forward to talking to him about it. That's why we started off right away.
And you can dislike it or not understand it, but you have
Gotta
to
respect
acknowledge
it.
and respect
yeah,
the influence and the breadth and depth of basically influence of this culture.
And Jeremy was absolutely right, and I loved how blunt and straight he was about it. It's like, no, this is important, and it's because it often gets belittled as kid stuff. Is that,
that is how we got to this point. Is that mentality? It's like all this stuff is stupid kitty shit. So then you disregard it, and then it turns into complete communism.
And ultimately,
propaganda.
there's a point where you say, whether you feel that way or not, it doesn't matter, because reality is perception, and the perception is Hollywood, big tech, and social media are absolute institutions and part of our culture here. And if you just go, well, that's just dumb and kid stuff, then you're blackpilling and you're losing. You're blackpilling and you're losing. And it's kind of, like people can have that perspective, but it's not the fucking 1800s. So and ignore that shit at your peril. That's all I say. Not being from either side. The Grizzly for $100. Isaac, by the way, have to give some applause. Isaac Asimov wrote a stupid little book called I, Robot. It's fiction. That doesn't mean anything, Gavin. But hey, it's the foundational text for all internet computer coding and robotics that we use today, because some 30-year-old virgin nerds, in quotes, and reads a silly book. And yeah, that's the other thing.
Star Trek. That has inspired so many scientists and innovators and inventors. A silly little kid show called Star Trek.
Yeah.
Well,
and again, you can
these
have that attitude. You can have the Matt Walsh whatever attitude. It's just what Chrissie just said. Just have the respect. You can not like it. Nobody's asking you to fucking like this shit. I don't like everything. I'm not.
Well, I don't like sports. I actually, nothing against people that like sports, but I do not see the appeal of watching, grown, sweaty men chase around a ball on a grassy field. And the reality is people have their interests. That's the key. Like they're the things that they like, and they, especially adults, they get to approach it like most people. They'll approach it maturely and find, because there's some really great stories in comic books, right? And I was wondering, like, of course, then there's the whole range of comic books that are actually made for a more grown-up audience and are not meant for kids at all. Because of course there are people, adults that are into that stuff.
There you go.
I just
hey,
I,
I should mention real quick
that comment was because you just said sweaty men. How dare you?
Well, how dare you,
too,
sir? No, real quick.
There might be some more validity to watching the sweaty.
Real quick, we are on Rumble, and it will stay on Rumble. We will test Rumble today. It'll be a Rumble exclusive for a little while till.
Yeah.
So on YouTube, it'll be the show will be on Nerdrotic Live when it's done, and it'll stay on Rumble, so you can go over to Rumble and watch it. There you go. I was joking about this show becoming a Rumble exclusive, and it happened.
Gavin made it one.
Gavin made it happen, baby. That's all right. That's all right. So we're going to wrap it up, folks. Thanks, everyone, for hanging in. Very eclectic, interesting show. We knew it would be that way. And, hey, I wanted to do this. I was very happy. I'm the one who said, yeah. He asked me. I'm like, yeah, come on. Come on. And I'm going to keep doing this shit. Like, we got to take risks once in a while, okay? And, it made for an interesting show, and there'll be plenty to talk about.
For a long
This will be
time.
remembered for a long
Twitter.
time.
Hello, Twitter. So let's go around the horn. We'll start with Odin.
Yes, what's up? Also, I want to give a shout out to the chat, because what they have shown is that our audience is about as diverse as you can be, because true diversity is diversity of thought. And I think we have seen literally every single opinion about this show. And I think that is a good thing that we have such a great diverse audience with differing opinions on various things. So shout out to the chat first.
The only diversity I fucking want. Okay.
Exactly. It's the only one that matters,
no,
really.
I don't want to hear it. It hurts my fifis.
It hurts my fifis if I get criticized.
Yeah, but you can check it out over at OMB Reviews on all the different places. On Sunday, I'm doing my Oscars boycott show, the Raven Awards. Please make sure you vote. I'm going to shut it down probably a little after the stream ends. I'm almost at 300 people who have voted, which is the biggest for me so far. So if you want to see people like Jeremy for Geeks and Gamers win Shill of the Year, make sure to get your vote in. And there's a lot of other fun categories. And anyway, you guys are awesome. And thank you again for
the voting is over at the end of the show, right? For the Raven Awards.
So yeah, I'll have it up maybe for a few minutes just to let people have a chance to put votes in. But yeah, like 5-10 minutes after the show ends.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Odin. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Pray for us
Thank you.
all, please.
Yes.
I will be. Yes.
Wait.
Oh, I knew it. So the Make Marvel mail shirt is back again on Flagrant Trigger. So if you've been wanting this, you can get it over there. I've got a couple shirts that are in the making.
If you want to cleanse your timeline of anybody talking about anything else other than you're gay, put that shirt on, take a picture, and put it on Twitter.
And I might have made a couple shirts that we've mentioned on previous streams, but that will come out later.
Oh, that one's going to be, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I showed it on the Nerdrotic little group chat. It's amazing.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Well, there's two coming out. One is particularly spicy, which I think is really good.
Yeah. And follow me on Rumble, Locals, YouTube. And I'm really excited about Forbidden Frontiers this Sunday, as well as our Sunday Fun Day. So got lots of stuff coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we do. Forbidden Frontiers, Nerdrotic Live. 5:30? It's 5:30. 5:30.
Yeah.
Maybe Adam will make it this time.
We'll be sick.
The Krigler.
I hope so.
The Krigler. Chrissie Mayr.
Hi.
Proud girl.
This was fun, guys. It was great to pee here. It was really fun. So excited for the Vegas meetup. Tickets are on sale. Tickets are going for the April 27th show. I'm doing a stand-up show at the Space with Lila Hart. I'm going to see what other fun guests I can wrestle up for that show. And I'm doing a bunch of dates here in New York. I'm going to do Bridgeport, Connecticut, New York City, Jersey, Staten Island, Dallas. Got a bunch of dates coming up. So go to ChrissieMayr.com for tickets and details. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, no
what a
problem.
great stream.
What a great stream.
What's the streams?
The last one I had to pull down was because of a dick. If you guys remember.
Wow.
Yeah. Batman's dick. I showed Batman's dick on a stream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So that was the last one I had to pull down.
Well,
Well, at least you're consistent, Gary. At least
I
you're
try to be. If anybody flashes their vag, I'm not going to pull it down, though, because I'm sexist. So
wow.
just want to say that.
That's empowering.
That's empowering, isn't it? It should be empowering.
Oh, we didn't get to watch the Empower.
We didn't get to watch the
I'm
Empower.
saving
Oh, shit. God damn it.
no.
Sorry, I accidentally hit
Empower.
my board. No, I'm gonna be breaking that bitch down, and you and I are gonna be watching the 4 specials that go along with it, Garrett.
Yes, we are.
And taking
Garrett
our
is
little
so
notes.
excited.
I am so excited that they made that especially for us. I have a great idea for it. I have a great idea, but I won't say anything because somebody will take it. Quarterback.
Hey, what a great show. What a great stream. I'm never gonna leave the desk to pee.
Ever again.
Because when I do, other people don't leave the desk to pee.
It's almost like it's like you're in trouble for leaving.
Yeah, it's a weird like thing like that. Yeah, so Sunday Fun Day and Forbidden Frontiers. Working on that intro. Pierry's working on it. I watched the little snippet that he sent.
Voiced by
Mahler. It's,
That's a beautiful voice.
Good. It's so good. I don't know if it'll be ready for this Sunday, but he is working on it. It's going to be good.
Yeah,
so this Sunday's going to be awesome. And Adam Krigler Show, Base Staff Mondays as well. And D&D on Thursdays now. If y'all didn't know, if you've been watching the Thursday or the Monday Geeks and Gamers tabletop game, it moved from Monday to Thursdays, so it's on Thursday. So watch us there.
I can. Somebody asked me to be part of that game. I can't.
You got to jump in just one episode.
No.
Just a guess.
No, I stream every day, except for Thursday and Saturday. So
that's
see
my
that
time.
my
Okay.
family that I have, this family
my
thing. I
time.
like to see them once in a while, and I also like to watch stuff
Fair.
to review, and I need time to watch that. But you have fun. You have fun. Ryan Kinel from RK Outpost. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. That was certainly a stream. But yeah, I'll just reiterate.
It's the stream.
I'll just reiterate what I said a little bit earlier. I think it's good to be able to talk to people that might not quite have the same perspective that we have about how important all the shit we talk about is, and how being passionate about all the stuff that we're passionate about isn't a bad thing. So I'm glad we got that opportunity in this stream. I guess we'll see when it goes back live.
Guys, this sword, dagger, what would you call it? A short sword or a big dagger?
A short sword.
A dagger.
Comics
A
is
dagger.
For
sword.
a Hobbit,
I'd say a
like
dagger.
comics, it'd be a short sword.
That's
It'd
Sting.
be like Sting.
Yeah, that's Sting
Oh.
if it's a Hobbit.
It's not sharp enough. I just realized. I'm disappointed.
Oh.
Did you try to
Mean.
stab somebody
Could
with
be
it?
Could be a lot sharper.
Do you have a sharpener?
Of several, actually.
Yeah, I would hope
sharpening
so.
stones.
He's a
Oh.
sword guy.
Sharpening
You have
Yeah.
like one of those big wheels they put the foot on and they spin it. and
Yeah.
spin it
No,
around,
not
you
one
go,
of those. I have the big sharpening stones though, and you know.
Do you sit under a white tree in front of a pond and sharpen?
With a, isn't it called a whetstone?
A whetstone?
Yeah. Wet.
Whet?
Wet people. I even have a white whetstone as well.
White whetstone.
People.
Sorry to derail things then, but
I don't think you derailed anything.
Hey man.
Absolutely not.
If any stream could be derailed, I mean.
Hey, what do I have? I mean, it's nowhere near Ryan, but what do I have? 1,130 videos and streams on this channel. If only dicks have been shown twice, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good.
And not even a
Fake
real
dicks, but still dicks. And I'm still here. So no regrets at all. No regrets at all. I had a good time. And I love Gavin. I watch Gavin. I watch Gavin on his channel. I watch Gavin with Anthony Cumia. I will continue to do so. I love Gavin. I know exactly what he's capable of. Exactly. And hey, we got our Rumble exclusive. Rumble got its exclusive now. That was a
There you
really
go.
tricky way to do it, but
Oh,
they got it for now. I have a video coming up. Pierry is hard at work on another top 5. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we'll see. We'll see. If you're a member of the Gandalf level, you will get a preview tonight within an hour of that video. We've got a little piece of it done, and it's fucking fantastic. Pierry is on his game as usual. So there's that. Then there's Forbidden Frontier. I mean, Eric, I got it. We'll put put the Meta PC commercial at the beginning when you re-upload. That'd be fine. And yeah, we got to remind Pierry to put those in front of the intros all the time. But where was I? Forbidden Frontier this Sunday. Real BBC this week, and then in a couple weeks we're gonna have Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan on together, which is gonna be fucking awesome. Next week on Friday Night Tights we have Benny Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Benny Johnson. So a quick reminder, we're going to end this thing and it's going to go private. So if you're a little behind, you're going to lose the video. So hopefully enough people tell you that it's going to be on Nerdrotic Live sometime soon. But
And
if you,
Rumble. You can go
it's
to
on Rumble right now. You can watch it on Rumble
Yeah.
right now and all of its glory and see what happened. Yeah, got to take it down. That's the way it goes.
One more super chat.
One more.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, you read it.
The Bearded Observer for $50. Since I am an Air Force veteran living in Germany, I am super stoked to fly over to the UK to meet y'all in the fall. Hope Ryan can come. Always nice to meet a seaman. And he,
I can definitely come, but I don't know if I'll be there in September.
I'll have some dates for you by Monday. Melissa and I will figure it out. We've got a parameter because I'm going for 2 weeks, but like the event will be within 1 week because the other week is my 20th wedding anniversary. And as much as I like you guys, I'm gonna hang out with my wife for a week. So
Amen to that.
I hope you can understand.
It's ridiculous.
All right.
I'll be
I love
looking at castles for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I need to get the castle list too.
Shad,
wanna-
Shad, I'll shoot you
castles.
the dates like ASAP so you can get that figured out. Yeah, because the sooner we plan, the cheaper it will be, for sure.
Agreed.
For sure. All right, that's it. Any last words? Anybody burning desire? Anybody? Or let's just get the fuck out of here.
Those who stand together are best friends.
Out of here.
And we broke 300 people voting, so thank you.
Nice.
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 And Bearded Observer. Hopefully I'll be there to meet you.
Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
see.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Dame, dame.